So hello. There we go. So hello, Internet. Welcome to Rise of Tiamat number 6. Remember last time when I said it was number 4? Well, that was number 4 twice, so one of those was 5. So we did that, guys. 5 episodes in. We're also on to 6, so here we are. So episode 6, this is very exciting stuff. So welcome to everyone who's come to join us here. But before we get going, I will put a link in the chat, although I'm sure people will show up over time. But I did want to point out that there is a giveaway happening for these, all 3 copies of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. I'm giving away these 3 books. Each comes with a set of 7 polyhedral dice as well, and a dice bag. So get those and one of these books. It goes till the 8th of June. So if you would like a copy of this book for free, you should do all of the things that require you to do that. And what that is...
You should just give me one because it's my birthday.
Oh, well, right now? Or...
It's on the 6th.
Oh, well, see, you know, that's... If it was today, that might be a different story, but it's not. So, but basically, it's all the things that you guys typically have to do. It's a Gleam giveaway. Everybody's familiar with these. But if you're around the channel, probably already know what those are. So that's subscribing on YouTube and following on Twitch. And that's it. And there's a bunch of other stupid things you can do to get a ton more, like following literally every social media, referring your friends, subscribing on YouTube, etc. If you really want to make continual accounts and keep referring yourself, that's an option you have too, and I'm not going to stop you from doing that. So by all means, have fun. So that's it for my little bits of announcements there. So I guess we'll just roll right in to what happened last time. So Katie was not here, which was unfortunate. I did my best to play Roswin. I think I did an okay job. I tried not.
Was on point.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
I wish I'd heard it. Can you do the whole recap in that voice, please?
No, because it'll take forever due to the amount of awkward stuttering that's kind of mixed in with with everything. I mean, that video is out. You can go and view it on Nerd Immersion's YouTube, and I think the Twitch. It's there. It's on both. No excuses, Internet. But anyway, basically, you found out, I guess, through the course of things, we found one monster that's immune to force damage. The one monster that is immune to force damage. And poor Odella was like, I'm not going to use Magic Missile. I'll just use Eldritch Blast instead.
Oh.
Classic. But anyway, they bargained with some snake people and decided to not get into a murder fest. And basically got Varram the White, the dwarven white dragon Wyrmspeaker, and they basically just took him, and they're like, get out of here, this is our place. And they're like, alright, cool. And they returned a book to a ghost lady, and she was able to go to the great beyond.
Yay,
and they
fly free.
And they got a bunch of treasure that they don't really need, but they got the really cool silver goblets that pour gas that make you immune or like resistant to poison for a little while. And basically they interrogated, or really just asked Varram some questions while he was under suggestion spell from Leo, which also allowed them to dismiss the bearded devils back to wherever they came from, the first level of hell. And basically he was completely subservient to them because he was beat to shit, and they were also under the impression that his soul was extracted from his body by the Yuan-Ti priestesses and said, like, once you are out of our territory, we'll return his soul to him. But you better do that and not kill any more of our people. So they did. Not kill any more of their people, not murder everybody. So basically they talked to Varram and got a bunch of interesting information from him, along the lines of he lost the White Dragon Mask, and he was coming to this temple to use the Oracle pool that they had there to figure out where it was from, or where it ended up, and found out that he had lost it, it had been recovered, and it is now at the Well of Dragons presently. So that's one mask, and they know if all 5 make it to the Well of Dragons, that will allow Tiamat to be brought forth, and they know they've already got 1.
Yeah.
So.
Super lame.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much where we ended last time, as you guys had basically just gotten out of the temple, and were basically outside, and found out that that midnight had stayed, as you had hoped. And yeah, you guys were ready to head back through the desert there and make your way back to Waterdeep. So I guess we'll pick up right there. Go.
Sweet. Have we had a long rest yet?
Let me ask you this. I don't think you guys technically did, but is there anything you'd want to do before you take one? So you guys are outside, you have Varram in tow, he's shackled or whatever you guys did to contain him.
I think he still has the shackles on him from when he was bound by the Yanti.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Good point. So yeah, but yeah, before you guys, I'm going to give you guys the long rest. Is there anything you want to do beforehand?
Leo just wants to look at both of you and say, you know, this is our first, like, official task as a group, and, I really think we nailed it, guys.
Yeah,
Go team!
you're great. I like awkwardly high five you.
I give you a really strong high five.
Ow.
As I laugh. Oh, I'm like, sorry. Don't know my own strength.
Yeah, you're pretty strong.
God, I love being alive! Leo's just like, at this, he was like, victory! He's totally hyped right now.
Alright, so yeah, you guys are doing pretty good. You've got Varram in tow. You guys all hit level 9, so make sure, just as again, before we dive into this, because you never know what'll happen, that you guys have, everybody's leveled up to the appropriate levels. There's some multi-classing, but I think everybody's square. Everybody's proficiency bonus is now 4, so that's a benefit for everybody. Spells and all that's chosen. If there's nothing you guys want to do, you guys can rest for the 8 hours. I'll also say that probably for the benefit of time here, you checked the shackling mechanism that he was bound in, and it seems to be sound. You guys get the long rest. You wake up the next morning. We'll say you're basically squirreled away in like one of the broken down buildings that's kind of outside of the temple there. You guys can get your rest and then set out first thing in the morning to head back to... I guess you're going to go the same path, I assume?
Yeah, because we want to pick up our mounts, right?
Yeah, we gotta go back there to go to the halfling buddies who have our mounts.
We don't want to take Varram into town because they think he's a hero.
Well, we can just hang back. One of us can hang back with him, or 2 of us, and...
Yeah, I can watch him while y'all go into town.
Okay. So yeah, you guys set out the first day. I think we said it was 2 days basically to the Borskire Bridge, and then a couple days from there back to Waterdeep. Let us see. I don't think there's anything. Sorry.
Ted, we got a comment that all of our audio is really quiet.
Yep.
As opposed to yours.
Of course. Let's fix that. Oh. Alright, you guys try talking now.
Hello, it's me. I'm talking to you.
That should have fixed it, guys. Thank you. I have to... Behind the scenes here, I need to really establish a virtual audio cable, because the music that I play for like breaks and things is on the same music track as everybody's audio, because it's coming out of the same speaker system. So if I want to lower it so I'm not blasted out by my own music, it also lowers everybody else. We'll fix that. Anyway, so yes, you guys are gonna set out just for the hell of it. We'll say basically before somebody, I'll let you guys pick who's gonna roll me a d20 before we get just one for the whole trip to get back to Borskire Bridge.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Woo!
5.
Great. Nothing happens.
Woo!
You guys make it
Oh.
back. You guys have basically 2 days full of travel. Anything significant happen during those 2 days, let me know. Otherwise, you guys have arrived basically the outskirts of the Borsky Bridge.
Nice.
How's everybody doing? Like, I just want to check in. Like, how are we? What's the story of us?
What do you mean? I'm Roswin. Did you forget?
No. I just, like, I don't know. We just went through some hell back there, and I guess this is our first time out together. And what do you think about this Varram guy? Like, what is this normal for the Belladonnas, or?
Yeah, we usually don't kill people. But speaking of hell, funny story about those bearded devils. So remember how I was like, oh, they're so cool wherever, because I didn't want to like fight them, and they were being pretty nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually telling me some pretty weird shit, about their mistress lady of the underworld that they follow, and how she's kind of in cahoots, they're thinking, with this whole Tiamat thing. And
What?
yeah, it's really crazy, and I just didn't feel like dealing with it then, and I was like, oh, Leo's gonna burst in there and just cause a ruckus.
I didn't do that.
You didn't, because you didn't know, but
Okay, wait. So we have a devil lord in league with Tiamat right now? Is that what you're...
a devil
That's what they
lady.
said?
Well, see, like, she's kind of like, they were saying they think maybe, because they're a little confused by it, because they're about law and order, not the show. Break fourth wall.
Oh, I love that puppet show.
Yeah, that's
my
best
favorite.
puppet show in all of Waterdeep.
I've never seen it.
Can binge watch those puppet shows all day.
So many different versions of it, you can't even keep them straight.
I like the special victims.
The special puppets unit.
Yes.
Anyway, so they're kind of thinking like they're not really sure why they're in cahoots with it, because she's all about chaos and they're not, but they're thinking maybe if chaos ensues, then their lady will have like the opportunity to strike a bunch of deals. And Ted, if you could help me fill in the blank with this.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I was waiting for the tag in on this one. So yeah, basically what they said is that essentially they report to Lady Zariel, who is the ruler of the first level. She's the ruler of the first level of the 9 hells. There are 9 layers to hell. There is a lord of each layer. She is the ruler of the first level. Tiamat is trapped in the second level, so that's where she's currently staged there. And Zariel is hoping that leveraging help to Tiamat and Tiamat returning to the prime material plane to wreak havoc, and not being trapped where she cannot do any damage. Will basically, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Maybe we, whether it's protection order, like, oh, submit your soul to us and we'll protect your town, and then that will elevate us, that kind of stuff. That's how, devil-based contracts work. How deep these ties go, I mean, these guys were pretty low on the totem pole and just doing what they were told. They were subservient to the dwarf who you have in chains. So, you don't really know how tough Varram was in his heyday, or prior to getting the shit kicked out of him, possibly soul extracted by UNT. That probably takes a toll on a person. But
Sounds like a bad day for sure.
he doesn't look like much to you in his current state. So the fact that he had at least 4 bearded devils under his command makes maybe they're not, those particular guys aren't too high on the food chain.
So ultimately, I was like, killing them, like, what's it gonna fix? We should just get out of here. They just want to gamble. Like,
I agree with your tactical decision. I may not like it, but I respect it.
oh, thank you. Everything's about respect.
Also,
Yes.
it seems like we got some good information out of them, so ultimately I'm not upset about this turn of events, but I would like to know who
Good.
exactly initiated the deal, I guess. Was it Tiamat herself or the Cult of the Dragon is...
Yeah. Because if Tiamat is down there making moves right now, then maybe we have even
That seems
shorter
concerning.
an amount of time than we initially thought.
Well, if I bump into them, I'll definitely ask. But to be honest, I don't think I will, and I don't think that they knew who had struck the bargain. They just seemed kind of like henchmen and blah, blah, blah.
Grunts.
Yeah.
Hey, Varram, bud, how'd you lose your mask?
And he's just like, he's just not. He just doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I hate that when I put my keys down and I'm just like, where'd they go?
And he's like, oh, yeah, it'd be like putting down your keys to your entire life and your well-being and possibly, well, basically everything that makes you, you. And then you lost it. And then someone else got it and they don't even care that that you don't have it anymore. I mean, if they found me, they'd kill me for sure, but it ultimately got where it needed to go, so, yeah, basically it just sucks to be me.
You're lucky that we found you first.
He goes, I hate to admit it, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, you could be like super dead in a snake tum-tum right now, so, Thanks
Fair.
for looking up, bud.
Fair enough. I wouldn't... And he just, he starts to continue the conversation, and he's like, no. Like, he just goes back to being silent again.
Let's just get Varram to join our party, guys.
Varram, you can be our fourth
Yeah.
PC.
We got an empty slot right now.
Yeah, come on.
What are you good at, Varram?
What's your thing? What's your shtick?
Apparently not keeping shit that's important.
You're not
So.
holding it back holding, if you know what I'm saying.
And he's just like,
I'm sorry, I pat his back. I'm like, there. It's
and
okay.
he's like,
Oh, Varram, you're okay, man.
You're okay. You're a good guy. I mean, you're not, but...
You're kind of a piece of shit, but you could be worse.
Okay.
And he just, opens his mouth, and he just, no.
I feel like he's even more upset that we're, the people that have been
That found
upsetting
it.
the entire,
Yeah,
Cult of the
you're,
Dragon.
this is what's doing this? This is the ones I've heard about? These... This guy's new? What's going on? He just heard you be like, it's our first adventure together, and he's like...
This sucks. Sucks to be me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if
We're having a good time.
Yeah.
It's all fun.
Yeah, if his feet are bound or anything, I'll unchain that so he can just sit on midnight or whatever. I mean, I don't want him to be super uncomfortable. I want him
give
to
away my mount.
I'm just okay.
Just joking.
Sorry. Okay, or he can ride Leo's shoulders. Whatever's cool.
It was fine. I figured that we were just gonna sling him over the side of midnight anyway.
I mean, I
Mount is,
can. Yeah.
The one thing that I thought would be severely overkill and not used, spare mount, but it's great.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be one of the most used things you guys have right now, given the fact that horses aren't great in the desert.
Yeah, as we're traveling, I'm we're not gonna feed him, but I'll give him a good berry every day.
I mean, that works. That
Yeah.
sustains him. Is not,
Mm-hmm.
beggars can't be choosers. It's, don't eat or eat this one berry and deal with it.
Yeah.
That's the world that he lives in. So you guys travel, you have this conversation, you start to very minorly crack the external nut that is the hardened shell of Varram the White. I use that term very loosely. And you guys make your way, we'll say that you're, I don't know, we'll call it lunchtime. You can see the Borskaya Ridge settlement from where you are. And I know you guys had said maybe one of you goes in, maybe one of you, however you want to figure that out. That's up to you guys.
Yeah, I'll hang back with Varram, and y'all roll into town and get our stuff, just so we don't make anybody upset by bringing him back.
Yeah, let's go meet Spider Topolino.
Oh, Jesus.
What a show
And
with all
show with
turtly.
alternity, yeah.
And Dorky Gardo?
Dorgardo.
Dorky Gardo.
Dorky Gardo.
You guys are so
Yeah.
mean. These are canonical characters that exist in the Forgotten Realms lore.
We
Like,
can't help that they have dumb names.
I
I
don't take personal offense to this because they're not like NPCs that I came up with that I have to deal with you guys like making fun of my NPCs shitty names. Like, you guys can take up these names with R.A. Salvatore because these are his characters, not mine. So, by all means.
All right, Salvador, we'll fight you.
Yeah,
With your
yeah.
dumb names.
WTF with your dumb names, Bob. What the hell?
He went on one of those fantasy name generators. Like, yep, good enough.
And let's add a couple syllables to make it really exotic.
All right.
I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I think it's like, I forget the name of the book, but I will find it on a break, and I will let the chat know in case anybody wants to read the book that deals with Borskire Bridge, the Grinning Ponies, and all of these characters.
Dorky Garble-butt.
Dorky garble boo. And they're halflings, so it's just extra funny.
Wow, that's racist. No,
Oh, wow. Luckily, Leo has nothing against halflings.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm sure you don't. I just am throwing it out there that this is,
Alright, so we're going into
So we're going into town. Not
yes.
me. I'm camping.
Uh-huh.
I feed Varram some jerky because I feel bad. Well, y'all are in town.
Okay, so you're feeding Varram jerky as he's kind of like unceremoniously slung over the side of a giant bird.
No, I sit him up
Nothing
against
Oh,
the
okay.
rock.
around his mouth hole.
Yeah, like, oh.
As he tries to get the jerky. Alright, so you sit him up and you are, you're feeding him jerky as you two, as Adela and Roswin, head into town to pick up the other horses as well as Crazy Eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. I get all crazy eyes.
So yeah, you guys, you make your way over to where the Grinning Ponies are, and you can see that things pretty much are the same as when you arrived before. There are just a ton of, Ellen DeGeneres-esque paladins dancing around, having a blast.
Still suspicious.
Well, I mean, this is your chance, since you're actually here this time, Laura.
Yeah, can I insight check this nonsense?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Describe to me what it is you're trying to discern.
Like, why are they dancing?
What is this?
What is this dancing that they do? I don't understand.
I am somewhat a follower of a god who really encourages dancing, but I'm very confused because I've never seen such high-spirited guards before.
In the desert.
Yeah. It seems like they're just wasting energy at this point.
Just doing serious cardio.
Okay.
Doing the fast that never ends.
So go ahead and make me an insight check to discern why the paladins dance.
Because they just want to
17.
dance.
What was it? I'm sorry.
17.
17? Okay. So you chat with a few of the paladins as they dance all around. And they don't stop, they're just like imagine, the way I picture this in my head is you're having a conversation and they're spinning and dancing, and you've got just somebody who sidles over towards you and continues to dance throughout the entire conversation. I imagine it's some Bollywood style going on. They're just oh, hey, how's it going? Having this conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're just trying to discern from their movements why they're doing this, or are you asking pointed questions
I will
why?
ask questions if I need to.
Okay, yeah, so basically
Get to the bottom of this.
okay, sure.
I'm gone. I'm talking to the halflings while she does all
Alright, we will get to you in a little bit. basically, yeah, as you go through and talk to these handful of people, and they're just like, yeah, man, things are great. Life is great. Celebrate life. We're here. This bridge is here. Everybody's here. Things are great. Why not dance?
It's awesome. Just sounds awesome to me.
Okay.
Wish I was like that.
Make me a medicine check.
Oh my god, are they on like peyote or something? In the desert.
Let me find it. Sorry, I just shut all my windows.
That's all right.
Thing. Okay, so 17 plus 2 is 19.
Yeah, they are all on something. You don't know what. But there is some sort of substance involved in this dance. And they're like...
Truth, man.
Do
Yeah,
they know that they're on it?
you would...
Can
you
I
would
like
have-
dance around the question to not be like, are you on drugs? Like an old person?
I guess that's how I ask it though.
Like grab him by the ear and be like, young man, are you on drugs? Is this what your life is about
Bella.
Are you a dope head? Like, I mean...
Get an egg from midnight and be like, this is your brain. Smash it on the ground and be like, this is your brain on drugs.
Basically, as you dance or walk around and ask these questions and kind of see as the dance circle breaks in spots, you can definitely see that there are like some incense burners, like that look like incense burners in the middle. You're not sure if that's actually incense or not. And then, like, you know, as the dancing continues and people break and move about, you see that one of them has like a censer that has like smoke coming out of it, and they're like they've incorporated the swinging of the censer into the dance movements as they're dancing all around. And now you can kind of see, you're starting to pick up on it. You can see there's like a light haze and a certain aroma to the air. One that I don't know if Odell is particularly familiar with, but there's something going on. But they seem to be having a great time.
Okay, so like, but like, it seems like
It doesn't seem nefarious in any way.
That I'm fine. Let them have their pot smoking fun.
They're just like, everything's great. Yeah. Dancing around. So, while this is happening, Rosman, you're talking to the grinning ponies, and you're able to procure back your mounts, and they all look like they've been cared for excellently.
Yay!
Possibly, if possible, in better shape than they were. Crazy Eye seems, you can't tell, it's a lizard. It's kind of weird. You could ask.
Crazy.
It is crazy. The eyes, you just like,
Just
you
Like
know.
all the other ones, she's like, Harley, Poppy, how are you guys doing? And they all like look her in the eye, nuzzle her, and then she's like, Crazy Eye, hey,
hey, come
buddy,
over here,
you okay?
buddy.
You doing well?
And like one of the tongue comes up and like licks. Actually, that's a frog thing, not a lizard thing. Never mind.
He's crazy.
Yeah, you don't know.
You're crazy, crazy guys.
Like a little bug flies by and like tongue shoots out. But when I say like a little bug, I mean like it's like a fly like this big, and it just like is by your head and it just like eats it.
Does a service to the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, dude.
But yeah, all of the horses have like very well groomed coats, and their manes are well brushed and things. Crazy Eyes scales look like they did before. You know, people that handle ponies don't really handle lizards.
Yeah. They're like, well, he's not dead.
Basically.
Good job.
I'm just gonna say thank you to all of them, and I'm like, okay, so I know that you guys weren't asking for anything, but I want to give you guys 5 gold so you could have around on us, get the good shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's Rose, if you were wondering.
Yes, I got it. Yeah. And there
Cheers.
and Dorgarder's like, "Oh, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. This was more it's nice to see that people take care of their mounts in such just take care of their mounts so well that we were able to hang on to them for you, and that, you know, you guys are here and everything's great, and we appreciate it. This won't go to waste."
Oh my gosh, thank you guys. That's very nice to hear. I really love Poppy. And what you've done with her mane, Poppy, you look more dark and mysterious than ever. It's a really good look for you. And I'm just gonna be like, well, if you guys ever, want to send a sending, I'll respond back 25 words or less. You guys are really cool.
And they're
Get
like,
their
well,
sending number.
yeah, right. They're like, well, we'll definitely let you know.
Okay, thanks so much, guys. Enjoy. Go dance with those guys. They look like they're having the time of their lives. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, they give you back your mounts, and you're able to procure enough. I think you had enough food, but if you didn't, you're able to procure whatever food you need. It's a trivial expense to head out towards back to Waterdeep. So you're able to meet up with Odella. You guys head back in, out of town, and you see Leo there feeding jerky to Varram.
Oh, I
just...
stop when they get close. I'm like, and I look.
Oh, okay.
See?
And he's just like.
I'm like, I don't. I wasn't.
I thought we were keeping him on a vegetarian diet.
He just looks so hungry. I mean, Leo blushes. Right. He looks really embarrassed.
Fine.
And he's like, oh, I was, though, hungry. He goes, oh, but salted meat, probably not the best thing for desert. And he just goes back to being quiet.
It's okay. We're almost out of the desert, bud. I got you. You're a good guy, Varram.
And he just, looks at, looks at, if this was this would be that, Jim looks at the camera moment for The Office when you tell him, you're a good guy, Varram, and he just kind of, pans and then, back to you.
Leo in the background lets out a shit-eating, great cackle. Just, loves it every minute.
Here's Harley.
Harley, my boy!
Yeah, and again, as stated before, the horses look to be in excellent care, well brushed, well groomed. Horseshoes are cleaned out. They look to be, the coats are positively glowing, and Crazy Eyes is there.
I love him so
much. Thanks,
I love Crazy. I love my mounts. Okay,
Yeah.
my weird mounts that I
They're all
bought were
beautiful.
the best purchases in that very long shopping episode.
I thought Celeste was gonna die. I really did.
too. I'm surprised you're still here with us.
I'm still here, man. I think Harley and I do that thing where we just have our bro thing where we go up and I just put my forehead against his forehead.
Yeah,
just,
sure.
do that.
I thought you were
And
gonna
then we're good.
bump or something.
No, he'd probably kill me if he did that. He's huge.
Yeah, it's also hard to realistically do that.
The front legs don't.
They don't really do that, so
We just touch our foreheads together.
it's
That's so cute.
it's cute, but
I
also
love
manly.
It is also
Um,
manly,
Sure.
extremely manly.
The testosterone coming from that side of the desert is just ridiculous.
By the way, I think I said it at the end of last episode, but if not, I would like to just do it now. But I'll send a message.
Oh, sure.
Leosin and tell him that we have Varram and that we're heading back.
Okay, is that it? You do have 25 words, so.
Oh, tell him about the mask and that it's at the well with the evil dragon.
Okay, and I'll add on the mask is with the cult of the dragon or something like
Okay,
that.
so that's well within 25 words, so you're
Yeah.
good. My favorite, side note, in one of the Forgotten Realms books, they bring this up, and someone is just cast the spell, and then took vamps to another character, and they're like, why did they make it 25 words? Who came up with that? In universe is why is it only 25? Anyway, you send the message, you get a little, there's a few moments pass, and then you get the message back that basically says, great, good work, see you back in Waterdeep.
Such a good investment, these sending stuff.
All right, Laura, you have a fate die, in case you missed that, now,
Yay!
from Katie,
Aww.
as a happy pre-birthday. Birthday with an F, I'm sorry.
Birthday.
I missed the F initially.
Add it to my character.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically you guys are able to, skirt the Borskire Bridge, so that you don't have to deal with the whole Varram's a hero, and we have him in chains.
What a schmuck.
And you guys get through there and head back onto the trail, heading out towards Waterdeep. And I think this was about a week. I can't actually remember, or 10
It was exactly a week.
That's exactly all right. So that's fine. So you guys are heading. So Katie, you rolled before. Celeste, why don't you roll me a d20?
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's see where
Roll
we're
that
at.
shit, girl.
Also a 5.
Okay, so we'll call it 3 days go by without anything eventful happening. Thank you, Mort's Magical Wares, for the host. So yeah, as 3 days go by, any other wonderful character developing moments for Varram the White in these 3 days that I need to be aware of? Or
He's got a beard, right?
yes, I believe I had posted it in the Roll20, but if I didn't, I have it right here.
Can I ask him why he joined the Cult of the Dragon?
That's Varram.
Oh, he looks mean.
Looks like a Klingon.
He does.
Kind of looks like a Klingon,
He
yeah.
super does. A tiny Klingon.
Yeah. So, obviously his robes are not nearly this resplendent, right? Like he's pretty beat up, and most of the gold has been stripped away.
I just put a bunch of flowers in his beard because he can't do anything about it.
That's fair. You would think, but you would be wrong. That I can't even get you that much. I mean, I'll make something up, but like he doesn't even have a stat block. Because they're like, he won't do anything. He's a prisoner. So, apparently, he won't. But anyway, so you just flat out are just like, hey, why'd you join the Cult of the Dragon?
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Okay.
Just want to know.
Just fair. That's fair.
Just,
fair
you know.
statement.
What led you down this path in your life, Varram? Obviously, it hasn't served you well.
Oh, wait. Oh, now we're making
And he's like,
Leo says that too. I'm like, don't judge.
and now he's just like, and he was gonna answer, and then you're like, it hasn't worked out well for you, and then he just clams up again.
Oh, Varram, no, man. Like, we would love to hear. Like, what's up? What are you about?
Or
Man,
maybe,
like,
I was
what?
just gonna say, maybe you can get us to see your side or something. I'm not sure. Right now, this doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, I have a very open mind.
And he's like, and he goes, all right, well, I'm pretty good friends with, or at least I was. I don't know where I stand right now, but I'm pretty close, or I was close with Severin, the leader of the cult. So, yeah, he's an old friend. So, plus he was able to hook me up with this sweet gig, Wrymspeaker, top of the line. It's great till you lose the mask. Or really don't lose it so much as it was stolen.
Oh,
Who do you think stole it?
Oh, the Zentarum, for sure.
the Zentarum stole it?
Oh, yes, they did. But now they don't have it anymore either.
Hang on.
Yeah, this is
Full pause.
this is juicy information.
By the way, Roswin, I would like to point out that Mud Puppy just blew 6,000 flint bucks to give you a fairy in a bottle. So the next time you drop to 0 hit points in a classic Legend of Zelda fashion, that little fairy will pop out and resurrect you, or bring you back to 1 hit point instead of 0.
That's so cute and so thematic with my class. I love it.
Seriously.
Yeah. So,
Thank you so much, puppy.
yeah, there you go.
It won't even be out of place because we'll all be like, yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah,
But
that-
then-
Yeah,
Yeah,
but she
absolutely.
probably befriended a fairy at some point.
Of course you have that. Okay, wait. So the Zentarum stole it. Okay. As somebody who doesn't play a lot of D&D modules,
Mhm.
what do I know about the Zentarum?
Okay, so, sit back.
Shitty bitches. That
Sit
seems
back,
like it.
folks. Let's have a little discussion about the factions of the
Talk about
Forgotten Realms.
Zentarum.
So the Zentarum, the best way I can describe the Zentarum is a Faerunian-wide, we'll call it a Faerunian-wide mafia. It's a good way to describe it, right? They are a faction of people that are out to obtain power and influence through whatever means necessary. If that involves quashing something, offing somebody else to make it happen, that's a thing. Now, you know that there was a Zentarum agent at the council meeting. Now, that's a rare thing because all of the factions operate pretty much separately from one another. The Harpers, basically the Harpers are like they're, you know, secret keepers, searchers of knowledge. They're an all-around good force that operates behind the scenes. If someone were to take that degree to like the ultimate level and remove any kind of moral obligation and you know, any qualms about anything, that's kind of the line between the Harpers and the Zentarum. So they don't get along at all, typically. Harpers and Zentarum butt heads a lot, to the point where sometimes, and often in a lot of cases, you'll find double agents. One is a Harper that's actually working for the Zentarum, one's a Zentarum that's actually a Harper, things like that.
So in the council, it was
Ryan,
Leon,
Ryan,
the female tiefling?
Yes, Ryan Nightshade, the female tiefling. So let me get you, here, I'll flip to that page and see exactly what they say about the Zentarum. They're also, again, common terminology. Also, yes, Mud Puppy, you are right. Zental Keep from the old D&D Gold Box, that's all accurate stuff. There's a long history to the Zentarum, as there is with the Harpers. But anyway, I'll read you this little block right here. So, also known as the Black Network, is a loose affiliation of merchants, mercenaries, malefactors. Common folk know the Zentarum as the people to talk to when you need the best guards or mercenaries money can buy. And if the cargo is shady, or the cause you're fighting for is questionable or even unjust, the Zentarum don't mind. Affiliation with the Zentarum can be profitable to sellswords, thieves, and rogues of every stripe. It's plausible that adventurers in your campaign might become, this is again just the generic text here, might become members of the organization, but like most residents of Faerun, they won't know the full extent of the Zentarum's operations and goals.
I always thought of the Zentarum kind of like in the dark, like the Batman, they were like the Ra's al Ghul type.
That's a good way to go with it.
Like the Christian Bale Batman, the first movie with like, they were kind of like that kind of like secret organization that was a little bit shady, but maybe does good, like thinks they're doing good things, but like it's all for more power and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Leo hears this and gets pissed because he's like, why the hell? This chick knew what was going on with the Zentarum, yet she still sent us searching after this and didn't speak up. So we wasted all this time now going after Varram. If the Zentarum already knew the mask was gone, Leo just is not. This is not good.
Well, you also recall that when you made it, basically when you had made it to the temple, Leosin informed you that it had been stolen. The mask had been stolen, and that Varram was coming here to try and find it. And he will Varram will basically tell you that the mask is hidden from most means, and all of the masks are hidden from most means of common scrying divination magic. So he needed something extra powerful, hence to use this pool to figure out where it was located.
Side note, we should ask him about with the black mask, how it just disappeared, if that's like a normal thing for the masks.
Oh yeah.
Once, because that was confusing and we didn't really find out more about that.
Oh, here we go. I'll give you the last 4 bullet points. This is from Wizards of the Coast's website on the Zentarum. They have 3 bullets for their beliefs. The Zentarum is your family. You watch out for it, and it watches out for you. 2, you are the master of your own destiny. Never be less than what you deserve to be. And everything and everyone has a price, and their goals are to amass wealth, power, and influence. So that's to give you a high-level overview of them. But they are shady, and they do potentially get into bad stuff, but they also live in this world, And for any of their things to be profitable, they need to have a world to live in. So you kind of, when you went into that meeting, you knew that basically everybody was there because they were able to gather everyone together. But not everybody was on board. You had, like, you seem to have the eye and maybe the vote of a handful of people, possibly. But everyone was there because they all do have a vested interest in not having the world destroyed by a 5-headed queen of dragons. So perhaps things can be done, and mechanically, I will let you guys in on this without telling you the specifics. But I have this. You guys see this right here? This is a list of things here, and plus or minuses. This is the scorecard of the council. Things that you do and things that you have done in the previous campaign.
Dad.
Things that you have done in the previous campaign. Things that you have done already and things that you will go on to do will get you little marks in that column. Certain things will piss off certain people. Think about this like a BioWare RPG. Certain things will piss off certain people, and they will endear other people to you. Certain things will endear multiple people to you. But basically, what this will do over the course of the campaign is who is rallying to your side in this. You guys have kind of made a name for yourself and are sort of becoming, as you've seen so far, with being called in and then asking to recount your story and being the premier group sent out to deal with all of these different missives. When a big thing that they need to have happen done, they send you guys because they know you can provide results. So the way this goes is the more things you do here, again, this is a little meta-y here, but the more things you do that you get plus marks for will be more allies that will provide you with other resources or things as things go through the campaign. So if you piss off the Harpers, which would be bad because you have somebody in the Harpers in your group, but if you do, then like they're gonna not provide you their resources and provide you things that they could help you on, right? Roswin's dealing with the Emerald Enclave. He might be able to, Dylan Winterhound might be able to provide you with
A Treant army.
He said
yes,
that.
yeah, he did. He absolutely said that. So that is a thing that he could do.
Just for my own like timeline notes.
Mhm.
So they took the white mask away from Talus and gave it to Varram.
Correct.
And then Varram had it for how long before he lost it? How long ago did he get it stolen from him?
That is a good question. Let's see.
It seems pretty recent.
And if we don't know that, I'll ask him. If I don't know that, if like we didn't get that information, I'll ask him and see if he tells me.
Okay. They made a persuasion check just for the hell of it.
Guidance.
Yep.
+4.
I got +4.
Mm-hmm.
So 17 plus 17, so 34.
Oh, well, there you go. So a 34, yeah, he'll basically tell you that it was stolen from him about a month or so ago. Enough to the time where he thought it could have been more, you know, he's not exactly sure the exact time, but it went missing. Well, the rumor that you guys know from Leosin, I should just follow up, is that they had heard that it had gone missing and he was going to try to find it. He has informed you that it was stolen from him.
Right.
But apparently it had since been retrieved from whoever stole it, which you would gather from your dealings so far means those people probably aren't in the picture anymore, those Zentarum agents.
Yeah.
And it has made its way to the Well of Dragons.
Which is probably when the Zentarum agent decided to come join the council because they were like, F.
That's more... He doesn't know anything about that, so he can't really provide you
that's
insight.
me musing to myself.
Correct. A reasonable thing to suspect. So he will tell you that, you know, it was recent enough that he was hoping he could find it with the pool and retrieve it before his friend and leader of the cult found out that it had even gone missing in the first place. But clearly, that's not the case. So he will tell you all of that. And do you guys bring up the black dragon mask?
Yeah, as Roswin, we probably either if Roswin doesn't want to ask it himself, like I assume she asked one of us to bring it up.
Yeah, you can ask him. I wouldn't bring up killing it, its owner, but saying that we were.
I'm sure he knows already.
I mean, it's up to you.
All right, I'll do it. Rather than having you guys roll, let's go with this. Describe to Varram. Oh, describe to me, to Varram, what you saw, and then we'll make an inference on what he would think based on that.
So what we saw, it seemed like the mask was in a chest, and then when we tried to open it, there was a flash of light, and then there was nothing in that chest anymore once we got it open.
All right, so he'll ponder it for a second. He'll stroke his long matted beard filled with flowers, and he'll say, "Oh, that sounds."
I'll clean him up, by the way. Odella wouldn't stand for him looking so raggedy, okay?
Okay, all right. This is important.
Flowers in his beard.
Yeah, but he said crusty, and I was like, oh.
I mean, dude was beaten into an inch of his life,
Yeah,
so he's matted with blood, and he was pretty
we'll
gross.
Clean him up.
Okay, all right. So his relatively clean beard, probably not brushed, I'm gonna say, but still has flowers in it. He still strokes it, and he says, "Oh, that sounds." He goes, "Well, Rezmir was nothing if not calculating and a bit. Well, she didn't like to take many chances, so my guess. I'm not too familiar. I'm not particularly arcanely gifted, but I believe it, based on what you're saying, some sort of, for lack of a better term, a dead man switch, placed inside this chest to teleport to wherever she wanted it to upon her death. So, my guess is, since you killed her, and the mask wasn't where you think it should be, and you didn't find it, it probably got teleported wherever she was sending it. And, being how things are going, my guess, probably to the Well of Dragons.
Also, just total side note, do you guys normally disintegrate when you die? Is that a Cult of the Dragon thing, or was that just a
Leo is staring at you open mouthed because he has never heard any of this shit.
He goes, no, that's not a Cult of the Dragon thing. That's a Rezmir thing. I'm not entirely sure what that's about, but
okay. Don't worry, we won't.
She's half dragons are strange. I'm not entirely sure. No one's too sure how they come to. There's a lot of rumors. You can be a half dragon from birth. You can be a half dragon after birth. I'm not entirely sure what her deal was, but I don't know. That's, again, I'm not particularly arcanely knowledgeable.
Odella will lean in and be like, "What do you know about people becoming half dragons after birth?"
And he'll sit there and he's just like, "Oh, fuck, what the hell am I gonna do?"
I'm riding Crazy Eyes. He's riding Midnight. We just have a little nice chat as we
Having a little chattel.
And you see as you're riding, he zones out momentarily as he's just staring at Crazy Eyes' eye stalks before you snap him back to reality, and he's like, "Oh, all right." And he goes, "Well, they say, the most basic thing, which was always the rumor for the longest time, was a dragon turns into a humanoid form and fucks something else, and then you get a half-dragon. That's a thing. I know that's supposed to be a thing, right? You get a dragon, looks like a person, has sex with another person, half-dragon baby.
Okay.
But they say that if you go through weird rituals of, some people say it's experimentation with transmutation magic and things that that wizards can do to transform you into a half-dragon, or others say if you bathe consistently in fresh dragon blood over time, that's another way to do it. That's all I've ever heard, but there may be other
Super
ways.
gross.
Interesting. Okay. You know, you're just like a font of knowledge, Varram. Like, I feel like
Yeah, like I said, you're a
got
good dude.
so much going for you. Like, just such a good guy.
I mean, yeah, you know, your life is kind of like, you know.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
you're at a
I'm-
crossroads right now. It's not over. It's a crossroads.
That was beautiful art.
That was a great picture of him.
That is like, if I had the ability to make enamel pins, that is a pin right there.
Yes, Varram the White.
Varram the BFF.
I'm gonna slowly start trying to sell him on Lyra as well.
Oh my god. So not
Just, like,
only...
push this religion.
Yeah, let's just... So, I know you love this evil dragon queen, but have you heard about this lady who loves dancing and joy?
Dancing and life,
Having
and
parties.
just
Doesn't that
happiness.
sound great? Like,
You can sell Leo on it anytime you want if you're ever feeling insecure, Odella.
You know, I've been to one of those parties. I'm not sold totally, but it is a good party. So maybe that's what you need to turn your life around at this point.
Good party.
And he's like, I'm going to be honest with you. When you take me back, I'm pretty sure the rest of your folks are just going to throw me in a cell and I'm going to rot there. And that's fine. Ideally, I'll be safe from the Cult of the Dragon, because what they do to me would probably be a lot worse. So I'll take jail
Good
time.
word for you.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, if we can, like, we'll visit you, man. Like, you
For
don't
sure.
have to be alone in this.
What
Nobody
kinda-
should die alone.
What kind of literature you like? You know, we'll bring you a book.
Yeah,
or
we'll send you books.
a nudie mag. What you like?
Yeah, Leo's eyebrows go, ooh, waggity.
And he's just like, he goes, I'm going to be honest with you. I heard things about this great group of adventurers that destroyed or took down the operation at Skyreach Castle and saved the town of Greenest, destroyed a raider camp, has just been foiling the Cult of the Dragon left and right, and I really didn't expect you to be so personable. I'll be honest.
You know, when you do all that shit, man, you gotta, you know, have some fun on the side.
You do, yeah. Keep it light.
He's like, I mean, I guess it seems to be working. I can't really argue with you. There's a Cult of the Dragon. It's pretty dour. A lot of sad people, a lot of angry people.
telling you, parties, joy, great time.
And he's like,
And pie.
Oh yeah, we got lots of pie. We'll bring you pies.
Oh,
The
what's
best-
your favorite kind?
Yeah.
Odella likes mixed berry.
Dude.
Yeah, the best way to combat evil, my man, is to kill it with kindness. I've always firmly believed in that.
and he goes, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of working.
I like high five behind my back.
Yeah, we're
right.
all like,
Yes.
yep,
um,
another one.
And he's
Turn all
like-
the calls of the dragon just on our side.
Yep.
Except for the one we murdered.
Yeah, well, she wasn't getting on with the program.
Mm.
I mean, we didn't really give her a chance to speak.
no, you guys
Oh no.
you ended that pretty quick.
Yeah, we murderized that.
Oh.
Yeah, she was all over the floor. It was a mess.
She got didn't she get cleaved in half?
Yeah, I think
So,
so.
yeah.
I think look,
No.
Like from like navel
This is-
to nose.
Yeah.
This is before I got here, audience.
yeah,
Just
you would
letting
have
you all
loved
know.
it, Leo.
I don't think I would have. I don't know. Depends. How dragon was she? I don't know.
She was
It's
half
okay.
dragon.
I mean, she was half black
100%
dragon, so half
She
black
was pretty
dragon.
evil.
Yeah, she.
Anyway, we should probably get moving along on this D&D campaign, right?
Ah, no, you're just convincing this cultist. It's fine.
But
So he will tell you that his favorite pie is strawberry rhubarb pie.
Ooh, good choice.
ooh, interesting.
Writing it down.
Just imagine Rousman pulling out a notebook like
She's got it's a pie. It's like a black book, but it's like people's pie.
yeah.
Do you like crumble top or the crisscross or a full top?
Like,
And he's like going to crisscross. It's
the crisscross.
Oh,
Okay.
what
yes.
classic.
Roswin has a
Classic.
very extensive piling system.
Nice.
True. I put it away.
Nice.
My shell.
So that's 3 days outside of the week to get to Waterdeep.
I feel like we spent it so well.
I mean, you guys got a lot of information.
We
We're
did.
like all singing a song together, all 4 of us.
Can we give him real food now? I really want to give him real
Fine,
food now.
we'll give
Okay.
him real food.
Thank you. And like water too.
Yeah, definitely.
I also have a whiskey flask that I give him sometimes. Because we're buds.
He's very appreciative of all of the above.
I'm so sorry, Varram.
Ted, when
Your
you
life
played
is
through
trash.
this how you treated Vera.
Yeah. How'd you guys treat Varram? when you
I told you that because
killed
I
him.
was I had
You
a
sacrificed
No,
him
no.
500 times. and
no
then
only twice
resurrected
because
him.
I had enough diamonds to resurrect someone with Revivify twice. So I killed him to activate the pool to ask where the green dragon mask was. Then resurrected him, killed him again to ask where the blue dragon mask was, and then resurrected him again. And then by then he was just so subservient to me, I just brought him back to Waterdeep and let him rot in a cell. Didn't even talk to him. So that's what happened when I played. But anyway, yours is clearly a different path.
We're just gonna get him to tell us everything he knows through
Yeah.
kindness.
Hey, that's an option too.
He's gonna be our best friend. We're gonna visit him in jail. It'll be
We
a good
will
time.
visit him in jail.
Brain
If we
and
don't-
pie.
If we don't die bringing down his cult, like, we'll visit him in jail.
So, the last bit before you get to Waterdeep, Laura, roll me a d20.
19.
Oh, hey, fun things for me. So,
Da-da-da.
let us see what of the random encounters
It's
we shall
another
have.
grave.
Yep, this
More
time with a different skeleton.
There's underwear in a tree. Oh.
Yep.
I feel like Leo would be all on top of that though.
Oh yeah, like what happened here? I love it.
Let's find out.
Too much for that. We don't want to jump to that point. Gotta save that for later. Huh. Listen, Katie, I don't want to get into Evil Campaign, which is also tomorrow night. But anyway, so you guys are traveling down. It's about the second day, and you guys are making your way towards yes,
Walking fast.
Jesus
Ah.
pass.
yes.
Out.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
And I need you.
Wait, what were you saying, Ted?
What is
So-
happening?
You guys are traveling through a forest, right? Fairly lush forest.
It's better than the desert.
Yeah, well, you guys have made your way out of the desert, and now you're on the road back towards Waterdeep, so it's more green and comforting because it's also cooler, right? And you're heading towards Waterdeep, so you're not too far off of the coast. So occasionally you get that blast of air coming off the coast, so it's a little cooling, and it's what do we say? I don't know. Whatever the
Nice.
month is that's after the third month in Faerun. I don't remember what that is. All I know is Chess is the third month. So you're in the fourth month.
Okay.
I
Sounds good.
will figure that out. But anyway, so it's like springtime. And you guys are traveling through this forest, and why don't I have everybody either make me perception or survival checks? Whichever you prefer.
Ooh,
Better.
I think both of those are garbage. So, which one?
Or survival.
Good.
Yeah. Those are certainly both garbage for me.
11 plus 1 plus 9. 21.
14.
15.
Okay, all right, not awful. That's pretty good. So, and who was rolling which, just so I know which one to talk about.
I'll
Not
roll
survival.
Survival, I guess.
I'm perception.
No, I would probably do perception. Both are the same for me, so it doesn't really matter.
I'm gonna do survival.
Okay.
I'm always like, is there a bunny track?
So yeah, there's some bunny tracks, sure.
Yay!
And there's
Nice.
some badger tracks,
Ooh.
occasional wolf tracks.
Ooh.
You know, things that you're familiar with, having been able to wild shape into the large majority of them. Tarsak, by the way, that's the 4th month in
Tarsak?
Tarsak, yeah, Tarsakh. That's the 4th month in Faerun, also known as the Claw of Storms.
Ooh, I don't like
Okay.
that.
We'll put you. You know what? For fun's sake, we'll put you closer. So months in Faerun are 30 days, 3 10-day weeks in Faerun. So we'll put you towards the end because that puts you close to a big festival in celebration of, I believe, Shantea called Greengrass, which happens. They're weird. Their holidays don't take place on a day; they take place between months. It's weird. So it's like it's its own day. So, yeah, it takes place at the end of this month before the start of the next month. Anyway,
I love a good festival.
yeah,
I
it's
love
called
it, yeah.
it's called Green Grass, and it's all about. There's a lot of hedonistic fertility festivals for people who are fans of Shantea or Leo
wow.
the Lion.
Leo makes a lot of money during these festivals. He
Yeah,
goes on
I'm
tour
sure he does.
for this every year.
Basically, you guys, you're looking around, Rosamund, and you as you're searching out footprints, and you guys are making your perception checks. You can see stuff that looks out of place, broken branches, but of a larger size, as if something had either crashed through or moved through this area. Roswin, you can tell. You also see now. You saw things that made sense, right? Foresty creatures. You also see humanoid footprints as well as some, horse footprints. As if some kind of a force has moved through here. What was your survival check? It was like 20 something, right?
21.
Yeah. So you could tell that they're not traveling single file to hide their numbers. There's at least a group of at least 4 or 5 people traveling through here. And you do see, as you're moving through, one mixed amongst all of these, a very large, and by very large, I mean like, yay big, reptilian-looking footprint. And as...
And that's heading off our path, so it's not...
kind of in the, not like in the direct. It's not coming towards you clearly. It's the way you guys are kind of heading. But as she brings this up to you, and you guys are talking about the broken branches, you can kind of see that the carnage leads off the path that you're on. Broken branches. You can also see arrows and things, and like looks like claw marks or sword or weapon strikes on trees, kind of leading off. And you can kind of see there's a path that sort of leads off to the left, off the trail you're on.
There's like blood and stuff. You said carnage. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was talking more about like arboreal carnage, like trees being destroyed. But if you get through there, you might be able to. You're this is off. You can see a trail, but you could go look at it. You can't see blood from the spot you're in.
Okay. But there are clearly signs of a struggle.
Of some kind, yes, with something significant in size. Obviously, bigger than your horses.
Yeah, we should definitely go see if somebody needs help. Do we hear screaming?
Mm-mm. You don't know how old these are.
Oh.
What if I lick the ground? No, I'm kidding.
Can
Sure.
I mail them?
Yeah, you can if you want.
No, I'm good.
All right,
Well,
so
let's go.
okay, you guys going with gusto? You guys going stealthy? What's the plan?
Nope, I'm full charge running.
All right.
My sword out.
Sparkles.
I was like,
I'm sorry.
I like
Somebody needs help. Leo draws his sword immediately and
Pyrotechnics.
charges in that direction.
So as you start galloping through, hardly jumping over, dodging between broken branches.
Harley's so cool.
As you're making your way through the woods, you can see that there is, you can see blood as you're moving through, but it looks old and it looks dried. So it's more like blood stains. And as you're moving through, there clearly was signs of a struggle. How long ago, you don't know. And you can see, as you're moving through, you can make me another survival check, Leo, since you're the first in this lead running through here.
Guidance.
Sure.
Thank you.
+3.
Oh, great. Oh, actually, that's pretty okay. So that'll be a 19.
Okay, so as you can clearly see that, again, it seems there was a struggle, and as you're moving through following this path, you can see up ahead of you, it seems to be a clearing of some kind, or at least a break in the trees that are here. I guess the opposite of a copse of trees, it'd be a gap of trees where there is none. But what it looks like as you're traveling through is that something was fighting here, moving through, and then as you kind of track, it looks like whatever was coming in, potentially from above, crashed and rolled into this kind of clearing.
Wait, where are we at?
Were those dragon tracks? Would I realize those are
Is this a dragon?
tracks? You said
that you would guess that, it looked to be dragon-esque.
Leo, it's your moment!
Oh my god, no, I know. Leo, it just immediately assumes if something came from the sky, it was a dragon. I don't need any other information.
Where are you? Are you asking, like, map-related question?
Yes. Like, is this where we know dragons have been before? Is this, like, near where we left the 2 baby dragons? Is this
No, that's way further south.
Okay,
You guys...
is this near where we saw the 2 brother dragons?
Nope. This is and this is... I have to pull up my map of the Sword Coast, which I should have, but
I will remind Leo, if it's shiny, don't kill it, and also, if it's very young and black, let me try to talk to it first, because maybe it's the one I saved.
Leo, is like, okay, don't kill this shiny, okay. No worries. He is looking for the dragon. Where is it, Ted?
Hang just...
Where is it? I'm doing a 360. Where is it?
So you guys left the Serpent Hills. You were on your way back to Waterdeep. So you were in... I'm trying to get a freaking picture here, because I really should just have my map of Faerun just printed. New house. Stuff tacked up on the walls that makes this a lot easier. But anyway, you guys are traveling along, I guess that's I want to say it's either the Tradeway or the Long Road. Actually, hang on. Where the dragon fleet is right here. Let's find out. Just so that, since Laura wants pinpointed map positions here.
Precision!
I was just curious based on, if we knew,
I'm not even drinking.
it was one of the known dragon locations that we know of.
No, we'll say, just looking at this map based on how far you guys were, we'll say that you guys are kind of in the forest on the... We'll say this is on the forest that's nearby, that's southeast of Daggerford, we'll call it. Yeah, that forest that's there.
I wish this map would load so I could actually see it.
North of
map.
North of Dragonspear, south of Daggerford. You're about halfway there to Waterdeep.
So where's the dragon, Ted?
Okay. So as you ride into this clearing...
Is it shiny? Because my heart will break.
Again, as I had stated, we'll have this conversation. As you work your way there, you can see that whatever... You know that stuff that had happened here had happened in a time before the present. Is what I made sure that I've stated.
I know.
Stuff was old. So as you ride through, you can see that as the trees are broken overhead, you can see that something was clearly fighting. There was a scuffle. Stuff hit, and this, whatever this was, rolled into this clearing. And as you get there, you can see in this clearing that a large chunk of the grass is just dead in a cone? Maybe? Can't remember if a green dragon is a cone or not.
Green!
It's
kill
a
it!
Is it a cone?
green poison.
Yeah, it's poison cone, yeah. So in a...
I play a green dragonborn, so...
No.
In another game.
Alright, so in a cone-ish shape, there's just a slew of dead and just dying, diseased grass. And as you travel, you can see that, again, there are footprints, there is blood, there is arrows, there is broken shields and some, like a broken piece of armor, like a like a pauldron just shearing off. And as you follow this trail of carnage through, you can kind of see where the impact and the roll was. And then off on the opposite side of this clearing, kind of in the woods, is what looks to be a corpse, beat up and destroyed and like slashed and cut up. And there's a couple ribs poking out the side of what looks to be a young green dragon.
Oh, Leo. Sorry.
Corpse, when you say corpse, how old? I mean, that's a good way to tell corpses. Like,
Okay.
how long ago did this happen? Is it like skeletal, or is
It's not skeletal, no. There is still
does it
flesh.
still smell bad, or is it?
Make me, as you get up to the dragon, make me a medicine check.
Guidance.
Medicine on the dragon.
+4.
Oh, nice. Then it is a 18.
Okay, wow, pretty
I love
solid.
guidance, yeah.
Yeah, you would say that this is probably, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks old.
Okay. And there aren't any human bodies or humanoid bodies around? It's
Not
just...
that you can see. There is broken pieces of things, and probably, you see there's, again, like I said, a shattered shield, pieces of armor, broken arrows. Maybe there's, we'll say that there's like a dagger, like in the side of the dragon.
So it looks
you can
like
see.
they won.
It does appear that they won.
Okay. Before we leave, I would just like to take a prime scale to make into a pick.
Okay. So, you know what? As you're going about trying to find the prime scale and surveying, you don't really know much about dragons, Leo. If Rosalind gets up there eventually, you can tell that, again, this is a young dragon. So nothing, or maybe a juvenile. I forget the ages in 5e, but, not old, not like the white dragon that you guys fought in Skyreach Castle.
Young. Juvenile is like the size of a large dog, I feel like.
It's big. It's bigger than a horse, but it's not huge, and it's not, crazy that apparently a small band was able to defeat it. But as you circle around and kind of survey things and try to find the best scale, it looks like kind of around the neck region seems to be it's riddled with arrows and stab wounds, and maybe there's a scorch mark or two, perhaps from some sort of arcane magic. And when you look around and you go to pluck the scale, which you can, I'm not going to make you roll for it. You have a plethora of scales to choose from. Eventually, you'll get it. So, as you pull out the scale and kind of see the eyes are kind of pecked out, they're gone. The crows clearly got to this. There is marking on the head of this dragon.
Okay. What is
In like what would roughly be like the foreheadal region, I guess, of a dragon, between the horns above the eyes, is carved a symbol, which, to the best of your ability, you would guess to be the letter A.
I'm like, that's
Wow, she's intense. If that's really her.
weird.
She's like,
I'm like,
oh.
I feel bad for the dragon. But I still take a scale.
You have a scale.
Great. Is it the scale?
It's the scale. Yeah. It's a perfect scale for a pig.
I love it. Okay. Well, I don't think there's anything to see here. I think we can resume our journey. No one to help. They've already taken care of it.
I'm just gonna be like walking around like, yep, it's a dad. And if I come around and I see the A on its forehead, I'm like, holy shit balls! And I'm like going around picking up arrows. And I'm like, huh? Is it silver?
Remind me, did we say arrows were left behind?
Yes. What?
They're from Ava's.
No, from Ava's bow they're not.
He's using from her bow, then there should
Wow.
just be burn marks in the hide and no arrows left behind.
Correct. There were scorch marks. Perhaps
I
as
would
if
like
some form of arcane magic.
To
Or arrows, but...
to try to track to see where the party went afterwards, what direction.
You can make me a survival check.
22.
It's as you track around, you can see that there is basically back the way that you guys came through this scrape through the woods here. It seems like they headed back out the same direction. So where they went, and once you get back out to kind of the more main path where you're at, it's hard to tell where things have gone. You could follow the general area, but there's also other tracks that lead there.
Yeah.
And you guys also came this way before, or around this area, not this exact spot, but
It was around 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I hug all of my travel companions. I'm like, oh my god, guys,
What?
my sister's alive and well, and totally pwned that dragon.
You have a sister?
Hell yeah, I do. She's the best, the most beautiful woman alive.
How old is
Sorry,
she?
Odella.
Odella's like, it's okay.
She's younger than me by a year, so 25 now.
That's great that you have a sister, and I immediately
you.
stopped paying attention.
I'm just totally happy, and I'm just kind of like keeping an eye out. Are they traveling the same direction as us, or do they go off?
They clearly came this way initially, and then where they head off to, hard to say. Although I will, yeah, all right. I will say one thing as you're tracking, these general, and it's humanoid footprints, hoof prints of horses and things, which is not uncommon for a relatively traveled path, more or less. You do see, and again, as you guys are traveling, it's just muddying things up a bit. You do see an imprint that causes you pause for a second, Roswin, and that is one footprint, maybe two. It's kind of hard. Some's a little messed up in the mud, but it is seemingly an owl print, an owl footprint, a large owl footprint in the mud.
Maybe she has an Ellie too now. Well, that's good. I don't want her to be lonesome. Well, that's great. Let's go. When we get there, we're gonna eat so much pie in celebration. Right, Varram?
He's
Yeah,
like,
Varram.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I give him another hug.
And he's like, all right.
So, what's up with your sister? Why do you don't know where she is, or?
Oh no, she we had a disagreement because I was like, save the baby dragon eggs, they haven't hurt anyone yet, and she was like, oh, dragons are evil, my name is Ava, I don't agree, light your campsite on fire and kill the eggs. And I was like, no, and then I accidentally killed her owl, and then she was like, I could see in the distance she was furious. Well, I couldn't really see her face, she was really far away, but she took off, and I haven't seen her since. But I heard that she kind of killed one of those dragons, which, to be honest, I'm a little miffed about. But she's living her best life, and we'll talk about it when we see each other again. So it's fine.
Oh, well, I mean, if we find her, I hope you do. Having a family is a really great thing, and fighting with them is always terrible. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Everything will be fine. We'll talk about it over pie. I'll make it into the shape of like a dragon head. So she's like, I'm eating dragon brains. And then, it'll be like nothing ever happened, I'm sure. It's got to be like that because we're family. So
What's Alva's favorite pie?
Yeah. What's Alva's favorite pie?
Shit, what was it? I don't think we discussed it because this was a thing that came up after when I met Odella.
No, you should know.
Oh, pumpkin, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You don't even know? It's your character. Come on now.
Remember?
It was
Well, no, because
pumpkin.
Katie assigned her one.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That I made. Katie was like, "You like this," and I was like, "Okay."
I was like, it was kind of like Odell. I was like, you seem like a mixed berry girl. It was like, she seems like a pumpkin lady.
All
Anyway,
sounds
I think
accurate.
I remember it being like a fall type pie, like a that kind
Yeah,
of.
you
pie.
can decide between sweet potato or pumpkin, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyways,
sweet
that's
potato
not
pie.
important. so it's gonna be great. And you know what? You're gonna love her too because you guys are both badasses.
I'm sure I will.
But don't have sex with her, Leo. That's fucking
No, absolutely not. She's younger. No, nope. And this is a professional zone. And I look at professional zone.
okay.
And I wouldn't do that. You're a friend. I respect you greatly. And
Well, thank you.
that would be
Okay.
terrible.
Well, this got weird. Let's go, guys.
Okay. He's like,
Let's just have more awkward conversations with Varram. Varram, have you ever been in love?
Oh my God! Tell us your woes.
And he's like, oh, there was a time before I met... and that, you know what, guys? This is a great point to take a break, I think. So
Yeah.
let's take a short break.
we'll talk about Varram's love life on
Yeah.
our
We'll
break.
talk about that in a bit.
Yep.
So we'll be back, guys. Let me turn up the beer. We're back, folks. Welcome back to Awkward Conversations with a Prisoner.
Yay!
AKA,
One.
AKA Rise of Tiamat, Episode 6. Belladonnas talk to the bad guys they capture. Yeah, you guys are just about outside of... you're about, like, I don't know, about half a week's travel or so outside of the city of Waterdeep. So one last time, Katie, can I get you to roll me a d20?
17.
Okay. And Xander's going crazy already.
Oh, Beagle.
Yep.
Oh, and there's my dog barking.
All right. One sec.
So, everybody.
Oh, yeah, family's important. Love is important.
I wouldn't fuck any of your sisters.
That's no.
To be fair, she wouldn't fuck you back, so
That's totally fine.
because she's not into dicks.
I'm not a sleazy guy. I'm
No,
just
I mean like
a
she's
young
literally
man.
not into dicks.
That's totally fine. That's awesome. You do you.
Of course. I didn't go to let him in. And he doesn't want to come inside. So.
Can you hear my dog?
dogs.
I want to be sure.
No, I can't hear it.
No, he's
Mm-mm, I can't hear him.
All right, continue. Varram, tell us about
Right. So he's like, oh yeah, there was a time where there was this girl, and he just like is like almost has this like surreal moment of like, what the hell am I doing? I'm talking to the people who are against everything I stand for and
Not for
capturing
long.
and now they want to know about my love life. So
That's about right.
apparently. So yeah, he'll basically just tell you a tale of when he was growing up in a dwarven stronghold. Let's call it, I don't know, Citadel Felbar, and he fell in love with a girl, and they were together for a little while, and then she dumped him for somebody else.
No.
Happens to the best of
With
us.
that beard?
And he's like, oh, his beard was pretty impressive too.
Oh, I love it. One of the reasons I like Varram so much, or I feel I really like dwarves.
Okay.
It's something from my backstory. I had a
Alright.
very good friend who was a dwarf who died. But he was one of the people I respected most in this world. So I will absolutely sometimes chat with him in Dwarven and be like, oh yeah.
Do we know that Severin is a dwarf?
You don't know what Severin is. You can ask.
I would like to ask if he's a good friend from their childhood. And he
He
grew
said
up in
he said
Portland.
he was an old friend, not necessarily state it was from childhood. But no, he will tell you that Severin is a human.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go to Waterdeep. Let's like
Fuck
make
yeah.
this happen.
Play a little ditty. Let's go.
Sorry, Xander's probably could hear Xander. He's pretty good outside and a floor away. Anyway, yeah, so you guys travel for the majority of the rest of the time. And you did roll, I think, a 19? 17? Nah, fuck it. We're not going to do our random encounter. I don't want to. You guys make it to Waterdeep.
Yay!
Yay!
Hell yeah.
So, you guys have entered into Waterdeep. You have Varram in tow. What is the plan?
Do we know if there's a council space still?
You know that the council. You know that they were called to meet the last time you guys were here. Whether or not they are like permanently fixed there, really you don't know. You only went to the one meeting, so.
Yeah, let's send a thing to Leozen.
Yeah.
Know where to go.
I think the best thing to do is to, talk to the council folks again and be like, look, we got this. What's the next step?
We got this.
We got this situation taken care of. What do you want us to do with Varram, and what is the next step?
Okay, so what exactly is sent to Leosin? That's the best question, I think.
We're in Waterdeep. Where do you want us to go with Varram?
Well, straight to the point. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would send like a winky face, but I don't know that
Yeah.
works. And send
Not
me
sure how that translates
XOXO.
in a spoken word thing.
winky face, kissy
That
face.
makes no sense. What?
All right, thank you, Mort's Magical Wares. Appreciate everybody who's came out to check out the channel, so thank you. Basically, you'll get a response back from Leosin, and he will tell you to meet at that bar that I keep forgetting the name of, that you guys went to when you were in Waterdeep last time.
Nightclub?
No, not the club.
Oh, okay.
Your club.
No,
Like,
not the
well, we
three.
can do that.
Not the Three Pearls. That is something special. You know what? I don't seem to have it here. But basically, you guys. What's up?
I don't remember us going to like a pub.
Mm,
You mean the place that we stayed at last time?
yeah.
Uh,
Let's see. No, that was Baldur's Gate. That was where you left from. My bad. Anyway, you guys head to a tavern in Waterdeep, and Leosin will meet you there. And when you guys get to said tavern, you see that he is waiting outside with 2 to 3. Let's go with 3 other people that are sort of standing. That seem to be a little bit more physically strong next to him. And as you guys approach, he's just all smiles. He's very happy. Clearly, he picked the bet on the right horse in this whole scenario. And he says, "Well, amazing! Like a week. You figured this whole thing out in a week. This is great." And he said, and he kind of like looks to Varram, who's like, he knows by reputation alone. And he kind of looks to you guys, and has he been giving you much trouble?
He's been the best. He's a
The-
good conversation.
An absolute model prisoner, and he should be treated with the utmost respect that can be given him. Of course, locked away, but he has been nothing but amenable this entire time and should be treated appropriately.
has given us a lot of information as well.
And Leosin's like, and he starts to go down, and he's like, you know what, you guys always, whatever, it's fine. I I can't argue with the results. Your methods still confound me, but well done all around, Belladonnas. And he said, and he looks to his 3 associates, and they said they will escort Varram to his holding cell, where I'm sure the council will have questions.
All right, I want to look at like the biggest one in charge or whatever, and I put my hand sort of threateningly on his shoulder and be like, treat him well. And I'm making an intimidating eye gesture.
All right, make me an intimidation check.
Guidance.
Hell yeah.
+3.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
And the guy's like, as you grip onto his shoulder, he's like, yeah, okay, and he, like, looks to Leosin, and he, like, looks back at you, and he's kind of like, yeah, of course, yeah, and he's like, it's like a weird request, treat this, like, prisoner.
By the book.
And he's like, oh, yeah, sure, and he, like, looks to his other guys, he's like, by the book, and they're like, what, you know,
like, and I expect a strawberry rhubarb pie with a crissy-crossy top to be for a cell. Only one, because you still made some bad choices. But don't forget that crissy-crossy top.
and, like, the lead guy's just like, and he, like, looks to Leo, and Leo's just like, I guess get him a pie. I don't know. They did it, though, so just go. And he just, like, waves the 3 guys and Varram away.
Bye, Varram.
And,
Have a nice time in prison, Varram. Think about, parties and stuff.
We'll come by with those magazines.
and, like, Leosin's just like, alright, so let's go inside and sit down. And he'll wave you guys inside. He'll order a round of drinks. And I will say at this point, he's pretty much gotten to know what everybody likes. So he'll order a round of drinks for everyone. And he'll grab a booth and sit you guys all down and say, so, how did it go? What did you find out? Tell me what you know. What was it much trouble? Was our information correct? And he just will wait for your report. Loosely, not like a formal thing, just how things went.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with just telling him everything. The only thing I really get stuck on is that, well, apparently the Zentarum had something to do with stealing this mask initially, and so they might have more information about how it got from here to the Well of Dragons. That might be something you want to look into when forming your alliances.
And he does. You see, like, an air of shock, but then, like, also, like, fucking Zentarum.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
Of course they did.
But he does take out, like, a little notepad and start jotting notes as there's more of this kind of juicy information comes about. So he says, please, go on. Tell me. So it seems that our contact saying that the mask was missing, that was accurate. And what did you find when you were there? What was he up to? It was said that he had lost. It was going to seek out some divination, some powerful magic. What do you know of this place, wherever this was?
There's a tomb of Didarius, and apparently there is a pool that is well known for its divination magic, but you have to sacrifice something in order to have it work. It seems like Varram was going to use this pool to track down his mask, but the mask is currently at the Well of Dragons, so it's beyond his reach, and he's not in good standing with the cult anymore, which is why he was so forthcoming, because he knows that he'll be safer with us than going anywhere near the cult again. So I feel like he'll be a good font of information if he's treated well.
And he's just like, treated well, he's
Mm.
and he's like,
Although, also, if anybody does go back into that tomb, be aware that there is quite a number of yuan tea
you want tea? All right.
and a lot of traps.
Reps. And he's like taking pointed notes on, like he like puts the quill down like he's done, and then you're just like, oh yeah, also full of snake people. Cool. And he just like, because every time he thinks you're done, you drop like a very important piece of information.
Yeah, I'll detail like at the beginning of the tomb, you will be asked whether you wisdom or knowledge. We answered knowledge, correct? And it seemed to serve us well throughout the thing, throughout the dungeon, I guess. Also, it seems like there's some sort of magic that will impart knowledge upon you about the traps as you go through. So that's good to know. But the pool itself, I'm not sure if it can be walked back from you have to sacrifice a person to use it.
Leo is like, I'm sure none of you would consider that option. Clearly this pool is evil and should not be used for any purposes, despite what any Harper or Zentarum agents might think.
The Yuan Ti have kind of corrupted it. It used to be that it was minor sacrifices that would activate it. Now it seems like it needs a major sacrifice, as in a person. Again, I'm not sure if this is something that can be walked back, but it is a resource.
He again is continuing to take notes, and he's like, he goes, well, he says, no, of course not. It does seem like no one should be using this, and this should be condemned, or at least brought under control, so that it's not even something that a desire that someone would seek out. And he continues to write things down.
I would agree with that assessment.
All the while taking notes of what everyone is saying here, and he looks to you, Roswin. He's like, well, you've been quite quiet.
Oh yeah. Also, another thing to note is there were like some bearded devils, and Zario, the first layer of hell, is totally.
And he's like,
I know, right? Right? Weird, huh? So those guys were like really low on the totem pole, so we don't really have much information on that. But they were pretty okay. They just went away, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, we managed to talk our way out of most of the danger in this tomb. We struck a deal with the Yuan Ti for Varram as they were holding him there, and then we dismissed the bearded devils. But we got a lot of information out of them, so...
And his leg struck a deal with devil. He just continues.
No.
I take out my pen from my pie notebook and I cross that out. And I'm like, hey, buddy, that's not what we said.
I was like, I don't think I said I struck a deal. I said we dismissed them from a deal or something like that. But...
And he's like, right. And he continues to write things down, because it's just like, it's just... You just unpacked so much information to this guy, and he's like, another round of drinks as this is going on, as you guys are telling him all this stuff, and he'll look at you and he'll say, I almost hate to ask, but is there anything else that you haven't told me already? Someone pours a drink.
Yeah.
No, I think that's about it. We summarized it quite quickly, but what we need to know is what we can do next, because clearly we're in a race against time.
And he's like, right. And he kind of like shakes away the kind of momentary just, what is going on. So he looks through, kind of like flips back a couple pages in this little notebook. And he says, well, while we continue to, now that we know potentially, and assuming you guys tell him all this information, as it seems you did,
I think we do.
It seems like potentially, based on what you're saying, 2 of the dragon masks are already, the black and the white, are already at the Well of the Dragons, that it would seem that anything we can do to find these other masks is of grave importance, but they don't have any other leads on the other masks at the moment. But he says the best thing that they do have is that other mission that they didn't send you on, that you chose not to go on previously, which was to track Macath the Crimson into the Sea of Moving Ice to the north with... if this is happening and they're able to, the Harpers, the Council, whoever, if anyone is able to obtain this Drakhorn, this great draconic artifact that you guys witnessed the sounding of that echoed through the realms, that she knew where it was, and, she was last seen researching in the far north, that perhaps, this could be a blow struck for the good factions of the realm if you were to obtain this, to get this out of whatever nefarious hands may have had it, or to prevent whoever they don't know who sounded it, but making sure that this can't be a good thing if the Cult of the Dragon obtains it, basically. So they have that information, and that was to, again, track Macath the Crimson somewhere north in the Sea of Moving Ice.
Absolutely. Do you have resources to get us there? It's quite a distance from here.
And he says, yes, it is. And he will remind you that the Sea of Moving Ice was the last known location of the Drakhorn. But they can... you basically got this information from the council meeting before. The Tiefling Sorcerer, Macath the Crimson, was the last one who had seen it, and is a great researcher of those kind of artifacts. She's a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, but they haven't seen her for 3 years. And she was investigating the Sea of Moving Ice when she supposedly disappeared.
Does he have any information on what the Arcane Brotherhood, if they have any symbols that they use, or how we could identify members of the Arcane Brotherhood?
Yes, I don't know if they have anything written in here specifically about the Arcane Brotherhood, but they do have, basically, let's see, so...
Well, she's also a tiefling woman, right?
Correct.
So, she won't be probably too hard to pick out if we do manage to find her.
No, I'm just saying for, if we need help up there, if they have resources to maybe, find her, or if they know anything about it, just so we can find them. And are they evil?
The Arcane Brotherhood are not. No, they're not
evil. They're scholars, right?
The Arcane Brotherhood is a bunch of mages that are based in the city of Luskan, at the host tower of the Arcane. I believe, Forgotten Realms timelines are wonky. But it's basically an academy for the best and brightest mages.
Okay.
It's
so it should be easy to find.
Yeah, Faerun Hogwarts, basically. It's
I want to go. I'll be a Hufflepuff.
only the most promising are accepted in the Arcane
Gryffindor,
Brotherhood.
obviously.
And only members of the Order can study at the actual host tower of the Arcane, rather. And basically, he will tell you that you've done a great service thus far. Take the day, and he'll meet with you tomorrow with more information and more, see what they can drum up as far as resources and what she was researching, and see if they can't gather that information from the Brotherhood, give you as much as they can before you head north.
We should get some winter clothes, too.
And he's like, probably not a bad idea.
I got a scarf that keeps me warm, so anyone
Do
can
we get to
borrow.
go shopping again?
Let's make this a quick shopping trip. Let us go get our clothes and get our stuff for our mounts and be done with it.
Yeah.
Sure. So
They look great in
Do
black
I know
fur.
if any of my mounts would
You would look
suffer?
so good.
I assume Crazy Eyes will not do great.
Crazy Eyes will not do great in the frigid, frozen north.
Does Crazy Eyes ever do great on any platform?
Probably the forest, amazing. The jungle, fantastic.
Well, when we go there, we'll pick them up.
Perhaps the mountains, you don't really know. But when you have very sensitive, sticky pad feet on the scorching desert sand, probably not good. And in the frozen north, when your body is regulated, and you need to use outside resources to help regulate your body temperature, probably not good for him as well. So,
How about midnight?
Midnight would probably be okay.
Okay. I just need to know if I need to buy another mount.
No,
Add that into the shopping.
we're
Just buy a
gonna say that
tauntaun.
just apparently
Oh
Axe
my
Beaks
God, can
just
we find
the
tauntauns?
We buy tauntauns.
Not here.
Yeah.
I will
that's fair.
say
That's fair.
not in Waterdeep. Not
We
a
need
common.
to go to a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, or at least probably Icewind Dale, like, which could be argued as a galaxy far, far away, compared to where you are in the city of Waterdeep. So yeah, at least to 10 towns and somewhere in the north where that kind of thing is more reasonable. So, that's what he tells you. Basically, I'll provide you as much information as I can tomorrow. See what you can find out. Do what you need to do today. Rest, gather resources, and whatever kind of tools you require. And I'll see if I can't get you some more information for tomorrow. And then
Leozen,
yes.
do you just have winter clothes for us? Since we're doing like this big favor for the council and for the world, so I mean.
He said, I can. Sure, if you want me to procure you winter clothes, that's a thing I can do. I can't say much to the style, but I can procure you clothes that will keep you warm.
I don't care about the style.
I hand you all my size measurements on an index card that Leo carries in his pocket.
Odella looks slightly uncomfortable with this situation, but not wanting to make ripples. Is like,
You've got glamored armor. You're fine.
Yeah, you could just disguise it.
well, I can't, if I wear stuff over it, it doesn't like work.
I'm like, the baggier the better. It's all about comfort for me. Like
Oh.
I know.
And he's just like, sure, yeah. And he's like, I don't, turtle shell, and he's trying to figure out like how.
Oh no, don't worry. It fits over everything. It's magic.
And he's like, sure, why not? And he's like, and he's like, you know what? Okay, yes, I will get you.
No,
winter
give me
clothes.
one of those. You know that puppet show Game of Thrones, like one of those cloaks, black fur.
Oh my
you know
god,
what I mean?
you look amazing, Leo.
I
Get
wink.
him that. Get him that.
You know Leo's my man.
Odella will hand him some money and be like, by the way, did we ever learn what kind of pie you like, Leozen?
Did
think
you?
I might
Did
know
you? I don't know, Rousman. Did you learn that?
We did not, Leozen. Let us know. Holler at
All right. He
Okay.
will tell you that he prefers.
I'm gonna make a real notebook for this.
Yeah, you should.
Seriously.
Important information.
We'll say.
Otherwise, the holidays are going to be a disaster.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, what will they think if we
What
get
will
it
we
wrong?
send?
Blackberry pie.
Oh, good choice.
Classic.
Little different blackberry. I feel like
Yeah.
it's not.
Is he kind of a bear?
But no. Leo?
Sure.
No.
Leosin?
No.
Stop calling him Leo. It makes me really confused.
That's weird. Yeah. So Leosin is like a stick thin half elf monk.
Oh, boo.
And he's got like the art is like thin, like wire thin, like mustache and like goatee.
Not my type at all. Bye.
Probably not. No. From the little that I know of Leo, which I wasn't sure there was a type that he didn't enjoy, but now I'm learning that it's Leosin.
It's not that one.
It's everything but that. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he says that he'll be able to procure you those winter clothes, and then he says, anything else you need, take the day to go figure that out, or whatever you need to do, relax, pray. I don't know what you do, and he's like, and he like downs his drink, and he's like, guess I'm going shopping, and he heads out. And he leaves the
Okay.
3 of you in the bar with your drinks.
Well, do you guys want to do anything, or do you just want to drink and wait till morning? Take a nappy nap.
I definitely want to get another round.
I need to find a place to stable crazy guys for this trip.
You do that. That sounds boring. We're gonna drink. Clink.
Okay, well I'll be right back.
Clink. No. Do you need help? I'll come with you.
Nope, it's totally fine.
No, you've got. I mean, Crazy Eyes is a handful, and there's like 4 mounts. Like, no, you're not going by yourself. Leo's coming to help.
Yep, nope, it's fine. Okay, thank you.
Fine.
There's 2 giant horses, a crazy lizard, and
I
a
assumed
bird.
they
Follow
were
the
already
boat.
taken care of. She was literally just gonna leave to find some place and then take Crazy Eyes
That
later.
would take Crazy Eyes. It might be a while. You might need advantage on your persuasion checks.
Sure. So you travel about, and you can find a place. Dirk will obviously house.
Oh, our buddy Dirk!
Dirk will
yeah.
house. He'll
What up, my
house.
brother? What's your favorite kind of pie?
And he's like, well, shoot, I don't know. My favorite kind of pie is he goes, really? And he kind of like pats his stomach. He goes, I really don't say no to much kind of pie at all. If it's pie, I'll eat it. But since you asked, my favorite kind of pie. And he thinks real hard about this. And he's like, well, And he's legitimately thinking and he goes, you know what? He goes, I don't get them too much around here, and it's pretty much a rarity, but when I do get it, I greatly enjoy key lime pie.
Shut up. No way. Cool. That was Mir's favorite pie.
I was guessing apple.
He goes, like I said, if it's a pie and you put it in front of me, I'm gonna eat it. So I don't discriminate against pie.
Doesn't
Fair enough.
discriminate. Gotcha.
Asterisk. It's not discriminate.
I like that about you, Dirk. All right, take Crazy Eyes. Let's bounce.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now we can go drink.
Yes. Now you guys can go drink. Sure. So you guys are able to stable Crazy Eyes with Dirk, where you know he'll be taken well care of. And now you guys can do whatever you want. So apparently that means drinking. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Sure. Where are you guys? You gonna go back to the club that you were so popular at?
No, we've already been to the club.
Let's make our mark somewhere else.
Yeah, what else is going on? What's up? I'm gonna ask somebody trendy in the streets. Like, what's happening tonight in Waterdeep?
Hang on. Let me pull up my Princess of the Apocalypse notebook since Brittany made up like 18 bars.
Oh yeah, she definitely did.
Oh, God.
What's up tonight in Waterdeep? What is it like is it like a Monday or like a Friday?
Do you just find a bulletin board and you're like,
Yep.
what fun
There's
things are happening?
yeah. That's let's see here. Basically, let me ask you this: what kind of place are you looking for? Are you looking for a particular type of bar? Because apparently,
Classy.
I know of a speakeasy that was created. I know of a quote whiskey palace that was created. I know of many places
Ooh,
that were
whiskey
made
palace
up
sounds pretty good.
in the
Yeah,
manner
no,
of minutes.
Adela wants a classy place. Let's go somewhere classy where we can all like, talk to each other.
Okay.
Odella, dress me.
Hold on.
Just out in the street, I'm just like,
I got a shell. I can 6th grade gym class it.
Wow, okay.
Sure. So you can go to the Drowned Trout, which is a whiskey palace. And there are also dancers there called the Minnows. I can't. They also make very expensive whiskey and moderately priced whiskey, as
Brittany
we
make
learned.
this?
What?
Yes,
I love her.
Brittany did make that.
Yeah, this whole list is Brittany bars. Right
I'm sorry, I crunched my chips in the mic. I forgot.
That's
to
okay.
do.
That's
Whatever.
okay.
So
I
sorry.
don't.
Wow.
I've been
dare
so
you.
good until this moment.
You're
You're
fine.
out. No I'm kidding.
I know.
That's it.
Like, get out of the Belladonnas.
Everybody gets one. That's it.
Ew.
You're on thin ice, kid. No.
Skating.
So yeah, you can head to the Drowned Trout. It's a whiskey palace.
That
Wow,
sounds
I've
great.
never been to a palace before.
Yeah, it's vast and beautiful and very high end, but also has dancers. I didn't make it up, so I don't.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, it does. It really does, Brittany. It really does.
Like,
Okay.
you expect, like, dancers called the minnows at, like, a Hooters or
Yeah,
something.
not
Yeah.
a whiskey palace.
Yeah, you do.
Um,
You absolutely do.
you know, it is what it is.
Where they
It is
sell
what it is.
84-year-old whiskey, and somebody bought 2 decanters full, which was
I'm not ordering that.
Yeah.
Do they do flights here? Because I think a flight would be fun.
Yeah, I
Table.
think that would
Leo
be.
wants to get flights for everybody so we can all try whiskey
Yeah,
together.
that sounds
You know?
It
very
sounds real
reasonable.
sophisticated.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we can learn together because I know Roz is more into the pink liquors. So I think Leo puts on his hat. His like,
We get
oh,
some,
now
like,
we're doing this hat.
Cherry
You know, like,
infused whiskey.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So basically, we'll call what. Let me ask you this before I start throwing out prices. What are you? I mean, is this a party fun situation? Is this an individual fun situation? How are we dealing with this? And
Just
then
a
what?
party fund.
Yeah, it's like us. It's us having a good time together. I think
We're
is what-
celebrating our
Yeah.
return.
Yeah, and we did a good thing together. We worked well together as a team. Like I think
Mhm.
that's our
It
celebration
was beautiful.
right now.
Okay,
So not crazy, just like a fun night
Mm-hmm.
out where we're gonna get like 80% drunk and then go back to our tavern.
Yeah, no hangovers tonight. We got plans in the morning.
Okay, so would you argue that 25 gold a flight is a reasonable amount for you to say? Do you think that
that's
that's?
a lot for a flight.
I mean,
No,
it's.
it's fine.
We'll
It's
say
fine.
that. We'll say
Okay,
that.
that's fine.
We'll say
Totally
that a
fine.
flight is. I mean, granted, a great like a good bottle of wine is 10 gold.
I wanna.
And we're gonna say
have
this
the
is-
best whiskey of my life tonight. So
Oh
let's do it.
fuck.
Okay,
Let's-
so we'll
let's
say-
do it.
So we'll say that this is like 4. A flight of 4. 4 or 5. Let's find out if it's 4 or 5. 5. So it's 5. 5 different kinds of whiskey in this flight for 25 gold, and it increases in basically age and rarity and value as you go along the flight. So you start with the well, you can start with whatever end you want, but basically you start from like more recent stuff that's like 5 years old. And if you're going for the most expensive, you know what? I've done a handful of whiskey tastings, and we got to taste some pretty phenomenal stuff for a relatively cheap price. So we'll go with the Oil Slick is on the high end. That's the 5th one. That's the 84-year-old random.
Oh Jesus.
That's the
All right.
84-year-old Scotch that is exceptionally smooth. And then you've got Satisfaction Guaranteed, which is right in the middle. That's your 20-year-old. And she didn't make anything else up. So then you got the other 3, which I didn't have time to think of because I didn't think you guys would be going there.
Okay, first one is Dragon Breath.
Sure, that's all right. Let me write this down. That's 5. That's 5 years old. We'll call that.
Okay.
Yep. We'll go with like a 10 to 15 in the middle.
Yeah. There's Dragon Breath, so that's the most, the lowest, the most
Yep.
acidic.
Yep.
And then Mossy Fields.
Okay.
It's very peaty.
Yep. Fair.
And then
Let's get a honey whiskey up in this bitch.
Then you got
Ooh,
Satisfaction
yeah.
Guaranteed. That's your 20. We'll call Mossy Fields your 10, and then we got somewhere between 20 and 84 years, and that can be your honey. I don't care. That's fine. And what are we gonna call that one?
Bumblebee Special.
All right, Bumblebee Special. Sure.
Bumblebee Special.
That is, we'll call that a 35-year honey whiskey. Why not? I don't fucking know. Listen, I didn't. See, here's the problem.
That's fine. It doesn't matter what it is, but Leo definitely has an agenda here.
Okay, what's his agenda?
Okay. So as the flights come out, so we each have these 5 glasses in front of us, right? He's like, all right, so here's the thing. We don't know each other very well. We're all gonna do a round, and we're gonna answer some questions about each other.
Ooh.
Here's
Okay.
the first one. All right, you ready? I'll start, and then it'll go Roz, Adela, and then Roz, Adela again, because I'm an open book.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. So first round. Cheers, dragon breath.
Woo.
How is it, Ted?
Like you said, it's definitely acidic.
It's like
yeah, there's definitely like
it's like
there,
bullet. You're like
yeah, there's some burn here, right? We're not. I mean, it's not like it was made 2 weeks ago. It was 5 years, so it's not, But this is like your bargain, your well whiskey, if you will. Nothing crazy. You wouldn't feel bad mixing it with something, if that's a route you wanted to go. Like the way I look at it in my life is, if I was gonna make a hot toddy with a whiskey, this would be the whiskey I'd use.
Got it. Okay.
So
we sling that back, and Leo asks, "Why are you two adventuring?"
oh yeah, take the spotlight off of me. Thank you, Celeste.
Are you gonna go first, or am I going first?
It's up to you guys.
I'll go. So, I was in the woods for like a really long time, and after I lost my family. So then my sister found me, and she was like, "Leave the woods," and I was like, "Oh no!" But then she eventually convinced me, and then I met the people who have become the Belladonnas, Phoenix and Lux, and Lux just kind of taught me, like, hey, even though you're scrawny, you can be a hero, and you can help people in ways more than just making like poultices and stuff like that. So I was like, that's so great. I've never been able to protect people before, and so here I am. Next.
Cheers.
To gain power.
Shit,
That's it?
girl.
You gain power?
I would like to point out that she's not shooting her whiskey either. She's like thoughtfully sipping and like doing the weird like posh people do with whiskey, where you like
Leo is like,
blow
no.
out and, like, take it and set it on the back of your tongue or whatever. I don't know what the whole thing is.
Leo's like, this is the shooting ground. Trust
Yeah,
me, you
no.
don't want that on your. You don't want that on your
doing
palate.
it 'cause she's like, well, someone
Eh.
made this whiskey for a reason. She's like, I'm gonna taste the tastes of it.
Power for what?
Help people.
Awesome.
Well, that's better than it initially started out. I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
Yeah, I was a little scared.
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, never mind.
No, wait, hang
Girl,
on.
you can't do that.
This is
shit.
whiskey night.
Get
Come on,
that
come
back
on,
and speak
come
up,
on.
woman.
Well, I was going to say, to be fair, that Roswin knows most of my reasons for adventuring.
I know, but Leo's
I don't
part of
know.
our family now, and he should know.
Leo does the thing where he puts his like chin on his hand and leans in.
I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. It's your secrets.
No,
but-
yeah.
And I will never tell, but I still think that it's always beneficial to have all your cards on the table to the people you're going to be spending all your time with. So,
My answer was true. If you want a follow-up question, you can ask. I assume this is how this game works.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. All right. All right. I'll hold to my word. I started adventuring because I always felt like there was a better story out there, and I wanted to be a part of it. So here I am, chasing for
Wow.
glory. All right, round 2.
Okay.
2!
So Mossy Fields, as you so eloquently put it, is quite peaty. It's still got some. There is still some burn, right? It's only 10 years, so it's not like it's super crazy. It's definitely smoother than the last one. But it's not bad. It's more sippable than the last one, if that helps.
Nice.
So there you go. So have at your drinks.
So Roz, you get to ask your question.
Oh, I didn't know I was gonna ask questions too.
Oh no, everybody's asking. We're going around.
If you could take one thing back that you've done in your life, what would it be?
Ooh.
Odella, you go first. Because I know you're so excited to share.
I don't like this game.
This is a great game with sipping.
Yes. This is
I
wonderful.
wouldn't have left.
Your
Left what?
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
Odella, you're really shitty at this game. Has anyone ever told you that?
Fine, I wouldn't have left the place where I was essentially raised. I wouldn't have left everyone behind. Because I don't think their lives were any better for me leaving. And I haven't been able to help them yet. And she's getting like visibly mad about this game at the moment.
Okay, Leo swoops in and is like, all right. A friend asked me to come to help them, but I didn't come fast enough. I was too busy doing whatever I was doing, and I wish I had come sooner, if I could take it back.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess even though it hurts my heart, I probably would have destroyed those black dragon eggs so that my sister would still be here with me.
Well, Leo totally reaches over her hand on the table and is like I get it. Okay, next round.
Question.
Yeah, okay. So next up is the 20-year. This is satisfaction guaranteed. And it holds up to its title. There is
I'm satisfied.
You do feel satisfied when drinking this. It is worth. You feel like it's definitely worth the money. Were you to have a glass or like drink this on the regular, it doesn't have as like the burn is significantly diminished over the previous two. There is sort of an, I guess we'll call this more of like an oaky flavoring to it, if that makes sense. And it, again, definitely more in the lines of the sipping rather than the shooting. So.
All right, Adela, ask your question.
This one she actually just like takes a shot of. She's like, sits, like angrily down
Yay!
on the ground. I don't know. Who is your first love?
Is it me first?
Yeah.
All right. Her name was Virginia. She worked with me in the arena where I learned how to fight. She was amazing. The best dual blade wielder you ever saw. Just incredible. And we had a short amount of time together, but she figured out what she was about much faster than I did. And she went on to do other things. And I hope she's still out there.
I hugged. I'm sure she's slaying it.
I'm sure.
Well, I've never had a romantic love ever, but my first and truest love will probably always be my mom, who I lost when I was really young, but I feel like she's still watching over me, and I try to do everything that I can to make her proud of what she sees and to model my life after what she taught me in the time that she was still here. And hopefully I can make her proud every day. But we'll never know until one day I also pass away. So she's gonna have to wait a while, but when we meet again, it's gonna be super swell, I think.
Yeah. That was also very poetic.
Thank
The
you.
little rhyme there really broke it for me. He's joking. It's, yeah. Making light of it.
Okay, Odella, you. Is it Mir? It's Mir. Tell me it's Mir.
Who's Mir?
Oh my god.
Never,
This to the
me and
next
Mir
one.
were never a thing.
No, you guys totally were. It's fine. You can admit it. We're all being open here.
I have nothing to admit. There was nothing between me and Mir.
They're totally in love.
Okay. But who was the first love?
No one.
You've never been
You've
in
never
love?
loved anyone?
You've loved somebody. It doesn't even have to be romantic. Oh, Della, stop.
Anyone?
Bullshit.
No. You can insight check her if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
14 plus 4 plus...
Oh, yeah, that's a 19 plus a. Okay. A 22.
18 plus 5 is 23.
She's seems truthful.
Girl,
That makes Leo so sad.
first of all, you've gotten really good at lying because I know what you and Mir had was true. But second of all,
There was nothing
put
between
you
me
out
and
on
Mir.
a date. We're gonna find you some love. Okay?
I mean, I've had crushes. I've never had anything beyond that. Nothing that I would call love.
No, that's fair enough. It's a hard world, especially meeting people who agree with you or can even understand where you're coming from.
Well, when most of your life is spent in a place where they torture you, and then the life after that is spent pretending to be someone else, there's not really opportune moments to develop a relationship with anybody.
Well, Odella, regardless of how you feel about anyone or anything, I love you because even though you're a huge pain in my buttocks, you always are there, and that's what's important. So,
Well, I suppose if we are speaking of familial love, I think of you as somewhat like family.
what do you think I was romantically in love with my mom? Jesus.
Odella just takes the next one and drinks it.
Yeah. Wait. No, it's fine. Okay, so Leo passed the question back to give it to you too.
So are we on to the next round then, I guess?
Yep. Sorry,
Odella's
Ted, you're not
already
in this game anymore.
No, that's okay. I'm watching the chat intently. And I think, Katie, you have some questions being asked of you in the chat.
I'm
I
responding.
figured. Alright, so next up is Bumblebee Special. The
Yes.
35-year honey whiskey, I guess.
Hell
But
Shocker.
like trying to track down like a waiter or waitress too to get like more.
Yeah.
Like fuck this, I don't want to be in here anymore. Let's go.
Shocker that Bumblebee Special tastes like honey.
Mm.
It tastes, I guess the best way, I mean, at a 35-year, that's no joke. I would say it tastes like honey. Obviously, it's less viscous than honey, but it also is like a honey that warms you up the whole way down. If that makes sense? Because I'm going to go with it's probably a bourbon.
Nice.
Honey bourbon makes sense in my brain.
Sure.
So, yeah, then we're on to the next question.
Whose turn is it again?
Roz, it's you.
Oh. Where do you want to end up in life? Like, if everything turned out perfect from here on out, and you could settle down and not have to fight for anything anymore, where would you be and what would you be doing and who would you be with?
Damn.
Yeah, son.
Ooh. All right.
Who's first?
You are.
It's you, the Roto.
Yeah.
I would spend all of my money, buy a school, and make sure that every single child who has been abused or has some sort of power can be safe and taken care of. And she's like getting really like drunk and sad now. Just like staring off into the distance.
I put an arm around her.
Yeah, I think actually I would also want to open a school. I mean, I learned how to fight. I learned how to do everything I do. Open a school, and I hope at that point that I have someone I care about a great deal and maybe can have a family with one day. It's a far away day, but one day. You know, when I have too many knee injuries and can't go out. That sort of thing.
Well, not to sound cliche after all this, but I wanted to open up an orphanage because when I lost all my family, I had a really hard time in the city, especially with all this going on with the horns and the wings and the tail and the pink. And so when I left and I went into the forest, you know, that's really when my life turned around, and I got to meet my best friend at the time, who was a dryad, and she taught me a lot, and I took what my mom taught me about herbs, and I learned how to live off the land. And I think that there are so many kids in the city who ultimately would be better off in the forest, in a safe haven. And hopefully my sister will be there with me, and well, I could teach them all about gardening and herbs and all of that. She'll teach them how to hunt, and we can just adopt all those kiddos and just have like a big happy family like when we took her in.
All right, cheers. Last round.
Yay!
All right. So, Oil Slick, which is an 84-year-old Scotch.
What a name.
It's an awful name for an 84-year-old
Great
Scotch. So,
Like they didn't have the foresight to think that.
yeah.
It would be this good.
So basically, the way I will describe Oil Slick, it is nothing at all remotely like an Oil Slick. When you drink this Scotch, it is so light, and it almost evaporates as it touches your tongue when you drink this, and it is smoky, and there is no burn whatsoever at all, and it seems like it's almost it's not magical, in case anybody casts detect magic, but it seems almost magical in that it's one of those rare circumstances where you feel like, were you to drink nothing but this, one, you'd probably be poor, but two, this seems like the magical kind of alcohol that you could drink a lot of and you wake up with no hangover.
Oh, the perfect alcohol.
Yes.
I found it.
You have. It is very expensive.
After all this time. All right, Adela, it's your question.
She's just like, she's managed to get some other drink at some point,
Yeah.
and pretty
You're
drunk
just
right now.
double-fisted.
And she's just like, do you think I'm pretty? She's like, got, like tears running out of her face.
Oh God.
God.
Okay. All right. I would like to make a performance or persuasion. I'm not lying. Okay. My earnestness here. Here we go. Oh God. Okay. That's a 29. As I reach across the table, and I would like to grab gingerly, like, your hands and kind of fold them, like, put down your 2 drinks. Odella, you are one of the most remarkable, incredible, brilliant, and then also gorgeous people I have ever met, and I'm so sorry for what has befallen you, but you are literally radiant.
Oh.
And with the most earnest, genuine look. And then he kind of like catches himself and like folds your hands back together and kind of leans back on the table.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how to follow that shit up, but girl, I wish I had boobies like you and a butt like that.
Cheers!
Cheers! Wait, Odella, do you think you're beautiful? It's your turn.
Fucking gorgeous.
Yeah!
Yes!
Yeah! Another round of the good shit.
Okay, another round. You guys
Of the
basically,
good shit.
yeah, you guys basically get like it's like 2 fingers of the oil slick.
Cheers
Cheers!
to the Belladonnas.
The Belladonnas. So happy to be
Belladonnas.
here. Yeah!
That was only one question, if I recall.
That was it. That was all of them.
Was that all?
All
of them?
5? Yep.
Shit. All right. Wow.
We got through it.
It's weird. Now I have to play the game again.
Sorry, Ted. We just needed you to chill for a bit.
Yeah. No.
Some role-playing.
That's fine. Wow. That's a lot. So now where do we go from there?
Home.
Yeah, I
For
think
the
we're
night.
sleepy. That's a lot of whiskey. It was a heavy night.
Yeah, for real. Okay. So you guys retire to the pub or the tavern that you were staying in, where you had all the while the minnows are dancing.
So not paying attention to that. It is not that kind of night.
Yeah, which I guess we're saying they're sort of like salsa troupe type scenario.
So awkward.
It is
I
so
think-
awkward.
Like
Did I
Odell's
get
like
that right?
sad drunk, and there's like.
No, I'll.
Maybe I
We'll
misspoke,
we'll
but-
get home. Okay, it'll
It's
be fine.
fine.
It's
We've
fine.
done this shit before.
Yeah.
Let's bobble home.
Maybe
Yep.
I go back to our like hotel and I'm like smoking a pipe in my chair, thinking about some stuff.
I make a sheet for it on the floor next to my bed and curl up in there with my bunny unicorn and my rock.
Oh, I forgot that you bought an Almirage.
Yeah.
I didn't.
All right. So yeah, that happens. So you guys, wistfully staring into the night, is Leo smoking a pipe, as Roswin makes a pillow fort on the floor next to the bed, just so I can set this scene in my brain, paint this picture for the internet. What's Odella doing?
Odella, for the first time in her life, will try to crawl into like the pillow fort with Roswin to like
Aww.
be like next to her. She misses those snuggles from here.
Roswin big spoons her.
Wow,
Aww.
super
Wow.
cute. So okay, so that's yeah. Wow, what a crazy, adventurous, roleplay based night we had here.
My favorite.
Yeah, so the party drifts off to sleep that evening, as Leo continues to wistfully puff on his pipe, being all mysterious as they're crawling into the pillow fort.
Not commenting at all.
Yeah, and then I guess you guys all rest for the evening. Yeah, that was the whole day. So the next day, Leosin will find you, but you guys wake up in the morning. And there, I'll have everybody make me a Constitution saving throw, because you were mixing some pretty bargain shit with some really good stuff. So
7.
7.
17. Very Leo.
19.
Okay, so Roswin
Also baby.
is rough.
Odella, carry me to my horse.
Away.
Mush.
Theo would be better at that, but okay.
I know.
But you're
I'm like,
already here
I'm like,
and
do you
I'm
want me
already
to?
on your back.
I'm right here. I can.
I don't care.
Okay. Sounds good.
I said we weren't gonna have hangovers. I said that.
You
Why?
didn't knock on wood.
I guess I'm so much smaller than you guys. You guys aren't good drinking buddies. This happens to me every time.
I pick you up with your little turtle shell. I'm like,
I hug around your neck.
okay. Now I've got a turtle in front of me. I'm like, where are we?
It's a little awkward to maneuver about.
That's okay.
I'm assuming you guys are gonna go get breakfast or try to get some. Well, you can't get. I was gonna say like bacon, but you can't get bacon and eggs into Roswin because that's not her jam. But
Tofu scramble.
yeah, tofu scramble, I guess, is a thing you can find in Waterdeep often. You know, the Waterdeep.
Omelets. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Omelette du fromage.
All right.
Sure.
Sure.
That's great.
Yep. Just like it's made by Dexter himself.
I know
Comes-
that's all. That's all I know in French, other than mon petit chou and bonjour.
Good phrases to know. You know that'll get you through. You're traveling through France. All you want to eat is cheese omelets. But yeah. So you guys are able to kind of. It takes a little while because it's also Roswin typically drinks rosé, and whiskey is a very different. It's a whole different wheelhouse
Whole
of
other
alcohol.
monster.
Truth be told, every time she took the shot back, she was like,
Yeah, no, I imagine there was some hardcore whiskey face going on there. So, yeah, basically. So, yeah, after about, we'll say, you guys get up. Time you guys gonna get up, because you all did have a night of drinking. What are we thinking?
Extremely early.
6 a.m.?
Regardless.
Okay, so
I
we'll
think
say...
I'll do push-ups until everybody else wakes up.
Of course. So we'll say that around...
Monster.
Yeah, we'll say that around, like, 10 a.m., Roswin, you start to feel a little better. So you've been up for about 4 hours or so, and your hangover starts to dissipate.
Nice.
So, Leosin said he'd meet you, we'll just say for ease of this downstairs at around noon. So you guys have about 2 hours in case you want to do anything in the morning before he arrives.
No, he stole all of our winter shit, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, a couple hours go by and lunch rolls around.
At some point while I assume Roswin is like napping after eating because she has a headache and
Yeah.
all that stuff, I'm gonna take Leo aside just before Leosin gets there and be like, I'm sorry about last night. I don't particularly enjoy talking about my past.
You don't have to be sorry. It seems like you have a lot of scars from your past, and I appreciate you saying as much as you did, but I hope you know that I am here 100%. This is not something casual when I sign up to be here. And if you ever need support or an ear or a sword in particular, I'm really good at that. I'm here for you.
Thank you. I feel like I may have pegged you incorrectly when we met, and I think
Sorry?
that I should apologize for that, but
I can't control your thoughts, and I don't want to think that, but I don't know. Whatever you think I am, it's all my cards are on the table here. So read them as you will.
I'm glad that you're part of our group, and she'll extend her hand.
He does so back. He's like, all right, handshake, and makes a shitty like smile. And he's like, all right, well, I'm happy to be here, and I meant what I said. I don't think you should, I don't know, worry about what you are.
Thanks.
course. Anytime.
New OTP.
Oh, I knew. I was waiting. I was
What did
waiting.
you say?
Oh man.
New OTP.
It's
What is OTP?
one true pairing.
Oh, I was like, what is that?
How quickly
I
you
didn't
give
hear
up.
that. I didn't hear that, but I did hear what the fuck he said to you last night.
That's true.
Okay, and then I guess I'm like, we should probably wake up Roswin now.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
All right, yeah. So eventually, Leosin will show up as you guys have this conversation. So he will basically arrive and tell you what he was able to gather about Macath the Crimson. So he will tell you that Macath reported her progress to the host tower of the Arcane by way of the sending spell. Her last report spoke of seeing ice hunters paddling their sealskin boats toward a huge iceberg, flattened like a plateau across its surface, but ringed by icy peaks. She had intended to follow the ice hunters and investigate the iceberg. After that, no more reports came. Attempts to find her using scrying and other magical means located only her ship, adrift and heavily damaged. Some of the ship's crew were seen dead, but no sign of the tiefling sorcerer was ever found. However, let's see. Do you guys know this? I guess you might know this.
We learned last time that the lair of a dragon as powerful as a Rathator
Yeah,
obscure scrying.
White ice dragon.
right. Yes, the white,
Blue eyes white dragon.
old
What's up?
old white death is his name.
Duel.
Listen, all right. You better hope.
Eyes white dragon.
You guys better hope that you can get access to Exodia, or you guys are gonna be in some shit. Yeah.
Wait, no, don't we just need a dark magician or
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
come
you
on.
could,
cards or
but like, you guys
I
already
believe.
destroyed one old blue eyes white dragon, so that means there's only 3 left in the whole world. So,
Oh no.
Time to go instinct. Bitch, instinct. I've had too much wine. Instinct, bitches.
I'm really excited that everybody knows about you.
yes. If you guys
Oh, hell yeah.
are true and believe in the heart of the cards, there's no way you'll
We
fail.
do.
Maybe
Correct.
I'll finally
Time to
use
get
my
a deck of many
devolutions.
things.
Yeah, our hair is the coolest hair. So
Yeah,
we're
like
fine.
totally polymerization, everything. You guys can polymerize like Floyd with the lions and make, I don't know.
Floyd's not here, Ted, because of you.
That's right,
Yeah,
he's
Floyd
not.
couldn't come.
That's right, fine. You can polymerize the 2 lions together to make a 2-headed lion that is no different than a regular lion. Just has 2 heads. I guess that means it has multi-attack. You can do 2 bites in a round.
Wow, and it still gets pack tactics?
Yeah,
Damn.
Damn, for sure.
but anyway.
But we
Yeah.
digress.
So again, if she's alive, the Arcane Brotherhood would be happy to get her back, as well as the knowledge she has about the Drakhorn would be useful. I believe I told you guys all that before, but he just reiterates all of that. He gets you your cold weather gear.
Nice. How's it look?
Functional.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I don't know, 5.
Oh, okay.
It's functional, right? That's the purpose here.
Yeah, Odell was gonna try and chase him down to help him out, but Leo was insistent that he come with her.
Yeah.
to go get them out. So I was like, God damn it.
Wanted to help. I just wanted to help.
So he also will get you snowshoes.
Wow.
And says he arranged passage north for you on a ship specifically built for moving through the waters of the Sea of Moving Ice.
Perfect.
It's called the Frost Skimmer, is the name of the ship. Captain by a human male known as, oh god, Larusta Half-Face.
Half face?
Half-Face.
LaRusta half face. God, this is
If he
terrible.
doesn't have half a face, I'm gonna be super sad.
If he just flip a coin at us every single time we speak to him, I don't want to.
He tells you, Leosin's like, all right, listen. So he's not like huge on talking about it, but half of his face is pretty much frostbitten off. So it's pretty nasty. So
I feel like we need to befriend him.
Oh yeah, we will, obviously.
I wonder what
Have
his
you met
favorite
us?
kind of pie is.
oh my god.
Probably icebox pie.
Should we bring him a pie when we get on the ship?
We
Got
guess.
time. Let's give him.
We
a
don't
pie.
have time. We gotta save the world.
Oh.
We gotta get on there. We can't bake a pie.
Let's save the world. Okay.
We're far from kitchen, home and hearth.
Next
Alright.
time in Belladonnas, what kind of pie does LaRusta Half-Face enjoy?
Dun-dun-dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So he will tell you that he has arranged passage for you, and I'm just trying to see if this place can go out of Waterdeep. If it makes sense to catch this a little further north. Honestly, it would make sense to grab it further north, but there's no reason you can't sail it from here. So, basically, he'll tell you it's a light longship, driven by a single sail or oars when necessary. That kind of works well to get it through ice, thick pack ice. Nearly 60 feet long, blah, blah, blah. It's open to the air, but the crew rigs sailcloth shelters across the deck to keep away the wind and sleet and provide some warmth.
How long of a trip is it?
Let's see. With favorable winds, it should be able to make it up there in a few days. Says
Depends on
the
how
book.
many random encounters, huh?
Apparently not. This, and I quote, isn't the focus of this episode.
Oh, wow. Okay, wizards.
Yeah, right. So we are pressing upon time here, for the episode. So as we are basically a little past midnight at this point, but basically what I will say is, you guys will basically be able to get passage on the frost skimmer. This isn't going to happen yet, but basically to head north, to potentially deal with this encounters and things in the Sea of Moving Ice, hopefully next time.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Blue Eyes White Dragon! I know that's Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not trying to say that was Dragon Ball Z.
It doesn't.
But basically what I'm gonna one, because we're at time, I'm gonna pause it here because potentially if we are able to get a guest, which was a potential, we don't know, I still have to get information from her. I provided her with either the thing that'll come later or this mission, and she specifically said she would prefer this one. So thank you for making this whole episode about drinking whiskey, so that it extended this whole episode in case she does show up, that I can incorporate her
All
in.
Celeste.
Look
That's
at me
okay.
and my trickery. I just don't feel like I know you guys well enough as players or in game as PCs. So both Celeste and Leo were highly motivated to have this session.
That's fair, because Odella has been literally keeping everything from you because she doesn't really trust you yet. So
No,
yeah,
she
that ain't
can.
gonna last.
And then
Leo's
you
like,
guys can
let's
get
get to the
married."
bottom of it. No, Leo doesn't. He's not the marrying kind.
No. I'll be your flower girl. Don't worry about it.
No, that's just he's. I mean, maybe
No,
one day,
fuck
but
off.
I don't know. I can't. Oh God, he panic cries.
All right, with that, I guess we'll just go around the horn here, and yes, I will keep you in. I see everything that's happening in the chat. We will see what happens. As far as guests go, she did bring it up to me, and she also graciously gifted me with a whole bunch of dice when I brought this up. So I'm gonna be honest, that helps. But anyway, Laura, who are you and where are you on the internets and all of the things?
I am Laura.
Wow.
Best.
I am at Win in Rome on Twitter, and that's my deal. Do.
Deal.
All right, great. Thanks for that. Katie, how about you?
Hi, I'm Katie. You can find me on Twitter at lazy_mermaiden. I also play, well, we try to play every Sunday, but it doesn't usually work out like that on Ewok Fuzzy Nuts' channel as well. So you can check me out there.
Hey everybody, just in case you missed it, my name is Celeste Conowich. You can usually find me on the Venture Maidens podcast, where I am the Dungeon Master. So if you like that, find us anywhere iTunes or podcasts are available, iTunes and other places. You can follow us on Twitter at Venture Maidens, or if you like me personally and want to say hi, check me out on Twitter at C Conowich.
I think I got this working, yeah? I did, cool. Oh, and I think I have one for Laura, and I think I have one for Katie, too. So there we go. We can
Oh,
get
nice.
into
Wow.
these
We've got
things.
little things.
That's everything that you needed to know about me.
Yes, well, I wanted to give you the opportunity to have a conversation. Anyway, I'm Ted. I'm from Nerd Immersion. If you didn't catch it at the beginning, I'll put the link in the chat again. I have a giveaway going on for 3 copies of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. That's 3 winners. Get that and a set of dice. Tomorrow night is the link popped up in the chat that we also have merchandise. You can get Nerd Immersion merchandise or Belladonnas merchandise, which exists, like the
Wow.
super
Wait,
awesome shirt
T-shirt. They
that-
look awesome.
that Katie designed.
Look at my boobs.
There you
Ooh,
go.
Yeah,
I
they
was
look
super
really
skeptical that it was going to come out well, but
No,
that
it looks
amazing.
actually
That-
great. It's very comfortable.
Yeah,
Please buy
Katie designed that art, which is super cool, and obviously Celeste is rocking it. But you can get it on things that aren't just clothes. You can get notebooks, like say a notebook for tracking pies.
one.
Yeah, I did. There we go.
I feel like that's the only thing you can use it for.
And I
now.
feel like that's probably a pretty good call. Also, coffee mugs and things of that nature. My Belladonna shirt has not arrived yet, but it will soon. There will be more designs coming out as they're developed. There's no limit, as far as I can tell, to how many you can make, so there's no reason not to have more. So as things come up and cool designs are made by cast members, myself, fans, and so on, we will go ahead and offer those up to you guys in our TeePublic store. And last but not least, I guess tomorrow is my Tuesday night campaign that happens behind me at this table. It is episode 5 of our Evil campaign. Right now it's a train job where we're going to be heisting stuff off a train, but then going to the place where the thing we're stealing is supposed to be. So if we steal it, then we're going to be in the same place. So we got to figure out how we're going to steal something and then not get caught. So that'll be fun. Rapid Amplifier on YouTube, asking right now, where are you guys in Rise of Tiamat? Full stop. I will tell you that pretty much every pre-written campaign that I run, the book is around, but we are mostly over here, off book. But right now, the party has just dealt with Varram the White. If you're familiar with the actual module as written, they did the Tomb of Diderius, and they are about to set forth on the Sea of Moving Ice, if that helps. Anyway, Wednesday's my character building show, where I build characters. I actually think I'm building the 10th Doctor this week, I believe. Because I skipped to do
the
Kim.
best doctor.
I skipped to do Kim Possible
great.
last week because I had to do Kim Possible for Chelsea to run at MomoCon, so that was something else I had to do. So suggestions always welcome for characters to build. That's it, guys. I don't want to keep bogging you down, so we'll let everybody go. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Again, for people who are unaware of when this show is on, it is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and that will be 2 weeks, which will be the 12th of June. I'm sorry, I lied. That's Tuesday. The 11th of June. Next week will be a return for Princess of the Apocalypse. alternating back to back. So, anyway, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.